and they hurt my ear after a while. My Beats. Have you ever owned a pair of Beats? The big cans?
They're just Bluetooth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't have a Bluetooth transmitter.
Do you think it'd be late? There'd be some latency?
Probably.
So I'd be like, wait, like y'all be laughing at something, and then I'd be like, let's do that. Let's do a whole show where we sync someone else behind us. Like, let's put Brian 4 counts behind us, so you and I will laugh at shit, and then he'll come in 4 seconds later, like,
oh, make me look slow. Okay, that's cool. Comics already get enough shit as it is.
What kind of show would that be if we just all were unsynced?
Just like a fucking assault on the senses that no one should be able to.
How is there no boy band that was like the rejects of NSYNC called Unsync?
I think if I tried hard enough, I could put latency in everybody's headphones. Separate, different counts of latency.
Well, we'll do that on the Shroom special.
Let's just do everything possible. Oh, see, there you go.
We'll do that one on the Shroom special. So
the Shroom special.
Almost did it.
It has to be a 4-hour podcast.
Yeah, just do it like that.
Yeah. Minimum.
And
break it into 2 parts, like Adam Carolla, but just.
And then we float in a sensory deprivation chamber.
Man, I think they closed the one by my account over in Flower Mount. I was pissed because I wanted to do that during my break one day because that's my slow. It's today, and my Tuesdays are pretty slow. So I was like, man, I could just do that one day, and I'd probably feel like a whole nother man. Like if I was having a rough day and went in there,
you do.
I'd probably come out and be like,
but you got to prep yourself the day before. Don't drink because it really jacks you up.
Well, I'm not doing much drinking right now.
You start feeling sick.
Yeah, I'm not doing much drinking right now, so it'd be perfect.
Yeah. What's the place?
Today?
I do want to do that. I've never done.
My place is in Colleyville, and it's great. I love it.
I heard it's
the first
just
time.
The shit he says, I'm like, damn.
You got to do it like a few times because the first time you're too kind of tripped out. Like,
yeah.
What do I do? What's gonna happen?
Do you ever listen to Joe Rogan's his MMA shows he does, the Fight Talk?
No.
He did one with his last one he did. They were talking about the toad.
Robotuner, that would be Kelly.
How they get there's a toad that they get, and they get the secretions from the toad, and they put it on a mirror, and then it's basically a DMT, form of DMT.
Yeah. Where the whole licking toads thing comes from?
Yeah.
Kelly Kapowski.
Are you in on that?
Saved by the Bell.
I'm not going to lick a toad.
No. What you do is you take it off the mirror after it's dried up and you smoke it.
Oh, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
So.
There's a reason I'm wearing
this shirt. Talking about, right?
What, licking a toad?
The toad thing that Joe Rogan talks about all the time. How it's like you put it on a mirror, you get the excretion on a mirror, then it dries out from the sun, and then you put it in a bowl and smoke it. And it's supposed to be like one of those crazy ass DMT trips for like 15 minutes. You never heard him talking about that?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That would you do that?
I don't know. It's frog.
No, I'm talking about they say it takes you to the center of the universe like that.
The thing
and
is,
you're like, what the fuck?
Shit with frogs.
I don't see. I'm not offended by the frog juice as much as I am because
But there's frogs.
I ate a shroom off of cow shit, so
yeah.
The bar is low for me. I'm more worried about the going to Planet Zero and not coming back.
You come back, man.
We should have started this on the show.
Yeah, we should have. I thought we were rolling on the show.
We haven't started yet. I haven't hit the intro.
This will just be one of those fun things we refer to.
Oh, this is our dry intro?
Yeah, the dry intro.
We just refer to this.
I don't really
Don't
like
talk
that,
about what we talk about. We just refer to it. And everybody be like, what did they talk about? Oh, I wish I was there.
Well, that's what I wanted to do with our stream.
YouTube's rolling.
Well, that's what I was saying.
This is the bonus stuff for the YouTube viewers.
That's what I was saying is on the stream, it attracts people to the stream when you refer to things that you were talking to pre-show. So it's like when people are listening to us pre-show.
But you can always reference. If you're watching on YouTube, you would understand what we're talking about.
Exactly. You have to bring it up.
Yeah. Asshole.
It's kind of, and then after you bring up if you're watching on YouTube, then you go, and if you are watching on YouTube, you see that little thumbs up button down there.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and look down that thumbs up button.
Push subscribe.
Go ahead and press subscribe. Press the thumbs up. Do your part, and we'll continue in a second. But for right now, you see the thumb. Okay, it looks like this. Look, it's like a thumb. It goes like that.
I don't think you can do thumbs up in this climate anymore.
Was that? Oh, they shot it down, huh? That was it.
We need to consult Facebook.
It's like, I don't know, man. What is that against?
I'm getting ramped up for my rants. Are you ready?
Apparently, he's going to go on a rant tonight.
Just thought of it. I actually deleted like a 3-paragraph, like that was that wasn't even complete. I was like 3 paragraphs in. I was like, no, fuck it, delete it. I don't care to even talk about it. But
let's go. Let's do this. You ready?
Yeah.
Someone liked us already. It shows me we got a like. You hit the thumbs up. Just hit that thumbs up.
You just did.
You just hit that over there.
You're just sitting there, and you saw that little thumbs up. It's kind of like this. It's not racial. It's not anything.
I think it's
sexist.
blue, right?
It's nothing yet.
It's offensive to the arthritic,
and it's blue.
Some people can't close their hands like that.
And so what you do?
That's ableist.
You go ahead and you just press that real quick. You press that. You press that like button. You leave a comment. You press that like button. Subscribe.
Not every animal on this planet has ambidextrous thumbs.
No, that's right.
So you just offended them.
Jerry Jonestown Massacre. Is your show about Jerry Jones football?
Time out. This episode of the Jerry Jones Massacre is brought to you by
That's my favorite of Susan
and Plastic Object.
This program contains graphic material, including offensive language. Viewer discretion is advised.
If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always? Hey, and with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom. All right. And yeah, you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Fuck you. You're a goddamn communist. I'm a fucking Reagan-era fucking conservative, pussy.
Wait, what?
Bottle opener.
Show number 373. It is Tuesday. Of course.
Turn the house lights on.
We'll get you some more, Field there. Tuesday, June 9th. And it's taken us 373 shows to play what is arguably the biggest band in DFW history, right?
Yeah, you're welcome, because I mentioned them when I got here.
You did.
All praise to the high, Brian.
You guys that like music, apparently, with all the shit on your walls and your histories and your friendships and interests.
We could do a whole show on things that we've seen at Pantera shows.
Vagina.
Boobies.
Fire.
Fights.
Rape. Sex. But I don't know if it was.
I was too young to see
or not.
Pantera. So.
Oh my gosh, man!
You never got to see them?
Was it the
Wait, when did they break up?
2001. 2.
I was probably allowed to go see a show at a venue.
They were in the middle of their Reinventing the Steel tour, weren't they? I think they were in the middle of one of their tours.
I saw it.
The last show was here, right?
And 9/11 happened, and then they canceled the rest of their tour, and then that was the end of it. I think that's how it went.
I think the final show was here. I was at it.
I think it was here.
It wasn't Anthrax, Morbid Angel.
That was what do you mean the last one they played here?
The last one they played here. I thought that was the last one
before the 9/11.
Yeah,
I don't know. It might have been.
Okay, I graduated high school in 2003, and my parents, I love them both to death, but they're not cool. So I got to my first like concert, or even I'll say show, because it was probably somewhere in Deep Ellum, like Galaxy Club, in like 2004.
Yeah.
So
See,
I missed that.
I never got to see them at Joe's Garage, but I was at
how big, like
Daddy Rocks in Arlington, and then Jay Gilligan's, where Dime would walk in and he'd be lit, and he'd get up on stage with like Aska and do a set of covers with him, or like 5 songs of covers, or he'd come in when we opened up for Pump Jack, and he would get up and play some shit with Pump Jack, like some ZZ Top or some shit that they would rip through, and he would always bring a tray of shots. God damn, it was crazy.
Went to Joe's Garage once and saw him.
What's Joe's Garage?
It's right down the road, man.
No.
Oh, really? NRA? Oh.
Joe's Garage? I thought it was off of...
It was all over there. You know where the old docks is?
Yeah.
Off Highway 80. Out there.
Okay. I kind of know what you're talking
on the
about.
west side. The
so
west
what?
loop.
North Fort Worth?
West.
Is that what you're...
I thought it was over there by Randy Adams.
Fort Worth-ish.
No.
Whatever.
That was...
Okay.
Wasn't there a venue that they played there all the time?
There was. It's the Aussie Rabbit. What the Aussie Rabbit was before.
I can't remember what it was.
I can't remember either. But they would show up and play those unannounced shows just to whoever was there. They'd come in, lock the door, and play.
Shit,
so whoever was at the bar got to see them. And whoever like was walking by
and probably make a shit ton of money.
Yeah. So the last show they played was 2001, August 26, 2001 at Yokohama, Japan.
That was 16, probably.
Dude, they were making a bunch of money when they were playing those little regional local shows, because you could, man, Vinnie Paul was a businessman back then. Like, he wanted to get paid.
Yeah.
He was driven like freaking, speaking of driven,
far beyond driven.
He was like almost like Dr. Dre in a way, like just wanting that money and wanting to grind and making sure he got paid. Whenever
like
I was
fully
around
marketing
him, like,
his brands, but didn't want to like create a label and sign all these other shit. But like really, So he probably didn't pay for drinks in a lot of fucking places.
Yeah, I'm looking at all these shows right here. Just Dallas. I didn't know they did Reunion.
Yeah,
I wasn't at that show, but
every time I only saw him at Fair Park. I saw him at Fair Park, and I saw him at the what's it called, Coca-Cola Starplex.
Were you at the White Zombie show?
Yeah,
where Phil died.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I was at that one.
That's the first.
That was at Coca-Cola, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was. Was it Cold Chamber?
I saw
White
them there
Zombie,
on a Ozfest.
I Hate God. Played the side stage.
Yeah, was it an Ozfest?
That was just Pantera White Zombie tour.
I saw them when they. I think the 2 times was I saw them in the Black Sabbath tour.
Saw that. Yeah.
And then the
Ozfest, they played Ozfest twice.
The one that they played with
Robotuner Tattoo Bar was what was beside Randy Adams. Yeah.
Tattoo Bar. Didn't they used to play at Tattoo Bar?
Yeah, that's the one they would lock.
Yeah.
They would show up and play and lock the doors. And no one could come in, and it was
That's
just a bar
when you
show.
could do cool stuff like that.
Imagine Pantera in the Aussie Rabbit now. It's the same bar.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The same bar?
Yeah.
You should work on Courtney.
I couldn't
trying
even
to make
get
that
my
happen.
open
Like,
mic inside there to gain any fucking traction.
Getting
so.
some like Lamb of God to
Jesus.
play in there.
I was gonna say, what? Courtney get Pantera? She's gonna have to get her witch game up and
Or the
do some
Illegals.
resurrection.
The Illegals play it damn good with Phil.
Yeah, they do. That sounds
Like,
good.
Yeah, when what was the one venue that they played the whole set that was on YouTube?
Did Courtney hear?
Did Courtney hear what?
Get Courtney. She was a badass guitarist at the Dime Bash.
I know. That's what, man, we've talked about this. Have you forgotten? I've got a plan.
No, we get her
It involves-
here.
Yeah.
She can be part of the band.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can get my tutoring, my guitar tutoring.
I'm in part of the Pantera band at Aussie Rabbit now.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Fair Park.
I think you're going to have to move here, Courtney.
I'm in the video. I'm in Vulgar 3. When they show the platforms being carried over everybody at when Typo Negative played with them at Fair Park Coliseum.
And Dom kept coming out dressed as Yosemite Sam or whatever.
Throwing shit around.
Or
and
someone
throwing
did.
shit.
Someone was coming out. It wasn't him. Was it? Was
Yeah,
it him?
I thought it was. They were throwing pics out.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Guy, Yeah.
He was like Yosemite Dime or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
he kind of looked the same way. But that in the video, when they're carrying the platforms around, there's a close-up of me standing on top of one back when I was younger and smaller. And
Dude, metal was
livelier.
so badass back then.
That
That
was
it's bad now,
That's when it was
but
great.
God, getting back to things that we saw though, a radio station van get tumped over.
Yeah.
Also, we said fires,
Fire, ice. Well,
Ice.
if we're going to bring up the Fair Park Coliseum.
and also there was one where one of the shows at Starplex, there was these idiots walking around with these big posters that said "Show us your tits," marching around in groups, almost like a group of Viking heathens with signs. Except their signs weren't protesting anything. They were they were the opposite of protesting. They were begging,
Requesting.
requesting.
They
yeah.
requested things.
Hey,
RoboTuner
at least they
says,
wrote it on a sign. That's nice. Instead of yelling it, which
Yeah.
that would put a lady off. Like, oh, you got a sign? Okay, that's nice. That's
RoboTuner said Dimebag walked into Guitar Center Arlington with his video camera and recorded him playing 5 minutes alone on bass. And it would have been on 3. I was so disappointed when the footage didn't make it.
Well, sorry, Matt. Maybe it's out there somewhere.
Maybe they couldn't get you to find you to sign a release to put you in the video.
Sorry, Matt. Tough one.
I am pissed.
Tough one,
I really
Thomas.
wish I wouldn't have seen them the last couple of times because it was bad. It was really bad, and it made me sad for the days when they were dead on and were just a fucking machine. But after Phil started having a lot of fun with
the
heroin,
reinventing the still when Phil would barely acknowledge Dime and Dime would barely acknowledge Phil. But Phil was fucked up because his back.
yeah,
His
and
back
he was
all
on everything.
fucked up, and he was
And then he'd go on these rants for like 20
And
minutes.
wouldn't-
And you're like, play a fucking song, man.
what are you, anti-flag?
It was ridiculous.
Dude, saw them at Warped Tour, and I was just like,
How would it go
stop,
over now?
Stop lecturing all of us. We're hot and sweaty.
And you only have a 20-minute set.
Yeah,
dude.
The other
Warped
band
Tour.
is ready to play on the other
What you
dual
should
main
have played,
stage.
what we should have played the pre-show is when Phil went on his rant in Down and was telling that kid to kneel before him.
Well, that would go into what you were saying.
That would be very apropos.
Kneel.
Today.
You know where that happened?
Yeah.
At the Rail.
Oh, really?
Oh,
At
was
the
it the
Rail
Rail?
Club. It was at the Rail Club.
Oh, I thought that was at
That
in
kid.
New Orleans.
I thought the video was at the Rail Club because that was all the controversy.
I don't think Phil would have a problem with having someone kneel before him if it was in New Orleans. Yeah, I think he had
Yeah,
to
I don't
request
know.
that
Man,
vocally.
these days, you better watch. He's got to watch it with those
These
kneel
days,
things.
yeah. Which do you think that's weird that
Kneel.
people are
I kneel before.
No. Do you think that's
I
weird?
am Uhtred, son of Uhtred.
Here's the thing I
do
can't
not kneel
even
before
put.
Dane or
Saxon.
Saxon.
Do you think
Saxon
it's
or Dane.
weird that people like congressmen?
It's the
and, like,
greatest line.
do you think it's weird that people are doing the
I do.
pose
I think
that
it's
killed
fucking insane.
George Floyd? But it's a sign of respect. But it's also the way he died. It's the
How's
pose,
that a sign of respect?
No, that's what Nancy Pelosi and all them were doing at the.
I thought they were
fucking
just kneeling.
cap-
I didn't know they were
I
doing
didn't know they
the,
stood on. I didn't think they were on top of someone.
Yeah, I didn't either. I
They're
didn't think it
not,
was
but
what
it's
it was.
okay.
Oh,
they're
they're
not.
just
You're not
kneeling.
going to get someone.
Symbolically.
That's
They're different.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah.
you're
true.
doing the thing that killed the guy.
But they're doing that because of like kneeling on when the national anthem, like the Kaepernick thing, more
Okay.
than the
But-
Floyd thing. I think.
You've triggered me.
But still, I mean, that's
We
it's
ain't even
still
got to shoot
both.
the shit.
This was
It's
one of
still
the things that
both.
triggers me.
It's still both.
You mean it looks the same? It's not the same though. It's not symbolically the
Welcome
same.
to modern day.
I know.
Everything's open for interpretation.
Right.
However, that person sees it.
It could be a sign of respect, a la
So
Kaepernick,
what about the
or
poor-
you could be mimicking what Chauvin did to George
I
Floyd.
am aggravated that people are pissed off about the whole kneeling thing, and say that it's
Pissed-
like
Pissed off.
that it's disrespectful to the troops and it's disrespectful to the veterans and stuff.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Gets on my nerves.
How is that disrespectful when, as we already quoted the show you and I have been watching, The
Yes,
Last Kingdom, in the time of royalty,
I am Uhtred, son of Uhtred.
and even now, the Queen
Sword
of
of Bhagavad-
England, what do you do when you approach her?
kneel.
And what is that a
You
sign
slap
of?
her across the
Respect.
fucking face and
It's
say,
respect.
"No one rules over anyone else." You pious piece of shit.
Kneeling is a sign of respect. It always has been.
Yeah.
So why are these fuckers getting all pissed off?
Isn't
that
it the most peaceful
kneeling at the-
form of protest too? Like, good lord, man.
Yeah.
If you have a problem with that, man,
As a form of
fuck.
protest, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's literally, but it's the symbology is weird.
Can we get rid
because
of the national anthem in sports?
I mean,
it's never needed to. I'm with that.
There was a time when they didn't show it.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden now they got to show the national anthem.
There's a time when the teams weren't even out there for it.
And then,
right.
And then like the 7th inning stretch, God Bless America. I'm like,
but isn't the NFL now almost obligated to let the national anthem come at the beginning of the game and let the players kneel? I mean, I think they've kind of put themselves in a corner.
They have an agreement with the military
saying that they can't do it.
No, that they will do the national anthem no matter what. They can't take it
away.
No.
My what I'm saying is the kneeling part. Like, hasn't the NFL painted themselves into a corner now, where if they're gonna show the national anthem, then they're gonna allow the players to kneel?
Why hasn't Jerry Jones said anything about it?
It's not that big a deal.
And
man.
You remember what he said when all this was a controversy?
They're gonna be toe on the sidelines, like toe out, standing straight.
But they will stand arm in arm in unity, but they will not. No one on his team will be kneeling.
Mm-hmm. I think he's gonna have to walk that back.
Jerry went out with them and locked arms and kneeled. Like
they didn't kneel.
Oh, they didn't kneel. Okay.
They locked arms.
I think they're gonna walk. I think Jerry Jones is gonna have to walk that back. As he should. That's what I'm saying. I think we've said ourselves that we.
Oh no, they did kneel. They did kneel.
Yeah.
I
knew my
they
brain
did it all
wasn't
together.
That bad.
But the whole team, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what it was. He said we were going to do that time, and that was it.
Yeah, which to me was like, I was surprised. I'm like, wow, hey Jerry, wait a
yeah.
And it was on Monday Night Football, which isn't as big as it used to be. Sunday night's the big night, but yeah, Monday night.
Yeah,
but there's that weird dichotomy of kneeling is respect, and then the Kaepernick kneel thing, but also the kneeling.
Didn't Tebow do a kneel thing too? Didn't he?
That is also how George Floyd died. It's such a weird
Wasn't Tebow's a kneel too or some shit?
I don't fucking know.
His Christian thing.
That was when he scored a touchdown.
Yeah, and didn't he kneel?
Hold on. They kneeled before the national anthem and then stood when the national anthem started playing, still locked in arms.
Fucking Jerry, man. He's like, we'll have it both ways.
That's
because
the way
you can have it both ways.
They took a knee before the national anthem.
Yeah.
And then when the national anthem started to play, they stood up and stayed locked arm in arm.
Fucking Jerry, man. Smart
My
guy.
question is this. When I'm at Texas Billiards watching a football game.
What are you doing at Texas Billiards?
And I'm watching a football game.
Oh, okay.
And they play the national anthem.
Can you see the screen?
Barely.
You have to fight the sun.
Barely see a dozen
Barely
screens.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm at Texas Billiards watching a football game. There's some people around the bar. You know, the usual 6 or 7 that are around the bar, right? They play it, and then the guy takes his hat off and starts doing this.
Uh-huh.
Is it acceptable for me at that point to kneel in the bar watching the national anthem being played on the TV?
He's going to get pissed because he probably fought for your country.
I'd say no, because nobody watching at home or at a bar or something, nobody stands up and takes the hat
Yes, they do.
Really?
You better go to Texas Billiards and see a football game.
Yes.
Okay, well.
There's 2 bars right down the street.
Let me
Texas Billiards
retract
and they'll do that.
This is also what
and they'll
sucks.
give you a go to hell look if you don't shut the fuck up.
This is also what sucks about everything.
That's the thing. It's really weird.
People say something doesn't happen because I haven't seen it.
It's like the dog that doesn't bite.
I hate when people I haven't seen anything like that. I go, you're one fucking person, and your experience is very
yeah.
It's like the dog that doesn't bite you because you own it.
Yeah.
But I go back there, Mr.
My dog
Mailman.
doesn't bite.
Yeah. I've never seen that at a bar though before. Nobody's cared.
It's fucking
but then again,
weird.
if I've gone to a bar to watch anything, it's baseball. And
See,
that's
but
just such a laid back thing.
Yeah.
And
if you come to Northeast Tarrant County and go to most of the sports bars during the football season and the major games, you have to do the major games. Like any team with NFC East, Packers, and what do you think? That's about it. The Patriots, maybe.
Yeah.
If you go to any sports bar in Northeast Tarrant County, and I'm talking about all of them, even ones that aren't really sports bars that have the games playing on over pool tables and shit like that, you're gonna see some guys that stop down and do that. I've even seen that at Hooters before.
I got yelled at at a Cowboys New Orleans game.
These, man.
I got yelled at for talking during it, but then the rest of the game I talked really loud and
about Katrina.
Said a lot of bad things about New Orleans.
He did a stand-up bit. What was it? 3 years after? No, it was a little bit farther. It was like 8 years.
It was
after
a couple of years, but it was playoffs, man. That was serious. That was a playoff game,
dude.
And I had to.
You know,
set
what came
the record.
up in my memories the other yesterday.
What?
The fucking the NBA, like when we beat the Miami Heat. I was like, dude, it's been 2011, man.
9 years,
It's
man.
been 8, right? Has it been 9?
It was 11. So
this is the 8th, or this is the 9th right now, or the 8th?
I don't. If it's the year, I round up. I don't give a
Fucking
shit
awesome,
about.
dude.
But yeah, we were watching it.
Months.
I was just thinking about that. How fucking joyful.
Dude,
that
I'll
whole
go
time
and watch
period was.
just like clips from like I'll watch the sometimes maybe the Blazers series, but then I'll watch the fucking the sweeping of the Lakers. That's always awesome. And then throw in some of the conference finals, and then all. But I think I've exhausted all the. What sucks is I watched a lot of those clips, like every little thing I could, just because I was feeling nostalgic. All before COVID. And I was like, damn it, I blew my load when I could have.
You need it now.
Extended,
Yeah.
man.
And
You
now
need
I'm
to get
watching.
extended release.
Now I'm watching a whole bunch of old World Series highlights online.
Are y'all
and
getting the
MLB
feeling
Network.
that you're running out of Netflix?
No, I'm not. I still
you're
got a
not.
lot of catching
No,
up
because
to do.
YouTube exists, and I have Hulu,
Check this
Amazon
out.
Prime,
No, I
Disney
just meant
Plus.
just one service. Do you feel like you're coming to the end of one service?
No, because
You need to watch The Last Kingdom.
We easily
That'll
spread
wrap you
out.
up for a good
All the things we
month.
watch, we spread out. Like right now, So there's things I can watch by myself. There's things me and my girlfriend have to watch together, and then there's
Ooh.
sometimes me and my girlfriend, our roommate, have to watch together. And now all three of us,
Threesome.
we're doing
God bless, Brian.
Boardwalk Empire,
Man, yeah, that's a good
which
one.
is fun.
That's a
I'd
good
like
one.
to go back and
enjoy it.
rewatch
That's
that
not
one.
really one that you want to. Well, I guess I watched it with Brittany, so yeah.
Well, that's a real.
But then there's all this
feel-good
shit that
series.
I want to watch, that me and my girlfriend want to watch, but then like
Watch
some-
Newsroom.
like so many over the
I
years.
still need to finish that.
I'm like, you want to watch Ozark? And she's like,
Ozark.
oh, those are an hour-long episodes. I'm like, you said you wanted to watch it.
some
What's
of those
Boardwalk
are pretty
Empire?
long.
They're an hour?
I don't know. I
I'm
just
telling
try.
you, man. The Last Kingdom.
I don't.
The
I,
Wire.
The Wire.
I
Yes,
say
The Wire is awesome.
I'm in a really good relationship if our only real fights are about that I started watching a show that
Shit,
we
did I
said we
knock
were
my
going to watch
camera
together. I'm
off?
just like, if that's our main issue, then everything is okay here.
You think so? She's not fucking the pool guy if she's talking to you.
You
about
need a
what
pool
series.
for that to happen.
Well, yeah, big guy, and I hear you're down on the luck.
But
a little
like,
bit
I
today,
watched
aren't you?
something and she got mad
Let's
at
get
me,
to Brian
and I'm
and
like,
his luck here.
I'm
You
like,
had a good
okay.
segue there, and you missed
what?
it.
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
You said you
What
don't
just
have a
happened?
pool, and I was like, yeah, it's tough to do when you're down on your luck and you don't have it.
Oh yeah, I got fired yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, we all got like laid off because we're for a marketing company that we give out cigarette
Seems
coupons.
like it's about to get busy though.
You
Like, why would
think?
they do
I
that,
don't fucking
man?
know.
Can we blame this on Jewel?
Jewel,
Huh? No,
The
we,
vape?
the crooked tooth
we were
hick from
we were
Stephenville?
competitors with them. There's no reason to get. So
But
it
they
might
won.
be. No, they didn't.
Oh.
It might be that we are hopefully, fingers crossed, best case scenario, we'll
Jill
probably
wins.
just move to a different marketing agency, and a whole bunch of us. I've been doing my same job since May of 14,
Yeah,
and I've been. I'm on
I've
the
seen you
longest,
in work, man.
Yeah, I'm one of the longest
job, man.
tenured guys.
Yeah.
I do my job. I've
Yeah.
had no write ups or anything. I'm a good employee.
Yeah,
Do you ever feel bad for
And
giving kids cancer?
Fuck no. Also, they're only over 21, so they're not kids. So fuck you.
oh, they deserve cancer, man.
We see an ID for everybody we talk to, and they have to be. This was before the age to sell was over 20. When
You
it was
check
18
their
and up,
stamp.
the whole time I've been doing this job for 6 years, you have to be 21 and up. So, I don't
Yeah.
promote cigarettes to kids.
Yes, you do. You don't have to lie, man. You could tell.
I
people.
don't hang around kids because they're infuriating. I
Take
was
them
a
up to
substitute
Kindercare.
teacher.
Kindercare. Kids,
I
take
have
one
to-
of these. Tell
you
me
have
what
to
you
pay
think is
me
better.
to hang around anyone under 21, or they have to be family.
Yeah.
I want to steal this
So.
this little segue you're going into, bitching about kids, because I spent
Fucking kids.
Saturday night watching kids
Oh.
and their metal bands play. I went to a full show this weekend up in Dallas at
Oh, cool, man.
Six Springs Tavern,
Oh, okay. I've heard about that.
and there's 3 bands. They only let 80 people in there, so the bands were excited that they sold the place out.
You should have let them come and pick me up, man.
Then you
I
put it-
told you about it.
I thought you were
Last
out in the
week.
woods.
No, not this weekend.
I was quarantined to my room. Seth and I had drinks on
Is
Friday.
that what we're
and
gonna
was
say
it.
when we just don't go do anything anymore?
No, I really was.
probably.
I was supposed to have my kids, and I had to.
I thought that's what I thought. I thought you had your kids, so I didn't say anything about it.
I did, but remember the text I sent you about what went on with me?
Oh yeah,
The test
Okay.
results.
Oh.
And I'm not talking about COVID. No, but go ahead. I'm sorry, man. I wanted to go to that with you. See these young
so
kids playing metal.
One of the kids, the bass player for this band called Vinyl Device, he's a client. I shot his high school senior photos, and I've been in contact with him and the family because his dad plays in a band, and I know he was in a band. Well, he hooked up with this guy named Taylor Griffin that is a guitar player that supposedly has a history with, I don't know, American Idol and all that crap or something. And then this drummer that's pretty cool, but they're all 22 years old. And young.
Yeah.
And
is it that same crew that
it's like the
that
School
Andrew
of
was
Rock crew?
Yeah, I was gonna say the dude that played with Kiss.
It's kind of like that whole situation. Yeah.
Okay.
Robot.
Yeah, Robot.
So it was fun watching young kids all play blues, and every band had to play. Well, I guess now the modern way you do a show. Remember when we would get a band going, we wouldn't play a show until we had a full set of originals, maybe one cover.
Yeah.
Well, now you can do half and half.
Oh, gross.
Half covers, half originals.
And most of the covers were 70s in theme, and all three bands covered Zeppelin 2 or 3 times.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, but we did it. We played a lot of covers though when we were kids.
We did, but not.
Have we?
It was always one per set.
I think we have enough. Did you hear me that? Since I've heard that, I think we have enough bands. I think I'm like, if you are going out there, half of what you're saying is original. Half of what
it
you're
was
doing,
very odd. Like I wasn't ready for that.
No more bands. No more new bands until we have more original. Until that, I think
How
that
about you can't play live.
One cover per set, I think, is totally fine for a band starting out.
Yeah.
For massive bands, go fuck yourself. Play all your shit. If I'm paying over $50 to see this, but
no more bands.
No, either all covers or one cover.
You have to go before a board, and they have to look, and they have to go. Okay, you have this many original.
So you're
songs
not saying that there should be no more bands.
Local music has been unregulated for too long.
So you are saying that.
Let's go to city council next week.
Thank you.
I like that though. Local
Since
music.
Everything is an issue now. Since everything is an issue.
You know what?
Let's get in line.
That's why I'm wearing this shirt.
Defund local music.
Defund local music.
Defund local music.
They've been doing that for decades.
Exactly. Since I was a kid.
By refusing to pay $10 to see their friend's band. Oh, I'll see you at the chat room afterwards.
You should run against Donald Trump, and that should be your go-to. You're like, I tell you what I will do.
I'll
stop all these goddamn bands from coming out.
How much people give a shit about local music.
What do you mean?
Well, everybody's concerned about kneeling
we have
for the
too many
flag.
fucking bands.
Let's just push that away. We need to talk about bands.
We need to stop having so many fucking bands. That's what we need to do for this country.
Just relax. Yeah.
Too many fucking bands sound the same.
But
it's the real issue.
And
what sucks is you have bands in this shed that I know you're nice, and so you don't say that. But I know you're just kind of like, you sound way too much like 3 bands put together.
I don't know what you're talking about, Brian. You must be talking to Dustin.
I know there's 3 bands on that wall that I can go point to.
Yeah.
And be like,
okay, you guys can play
but you have
this
a video element now, so we don't have
we won't
to.
go point.
I just want to take the time right now to talk about me, so you stop listening to them.
So anyway, I'm at this show.
The Brian and Dustin segment where you just fucking call out bands off the wall.
Oh, shit.
So this bar will hold 300 people. And so 25%, it's
Mana, my friend Mana ran, I guess, past tense. I don't know, who knows. Yeah, she ran an open mic there. Or no, she delegated it to my buddy because she's becoming like this open mic conglomerate in of herself. But that's one of the places.
She's got a monopoly on everything.
She's like,
she's the
if you got a big
Buffett
comic that can sell 200-300 tickets, I'm just like, yeah. If someone like that comes my way, which it doesn't, they're gonna go with Margin Walker and do Sons of Herman or Texas. I'm like, I know this world, and I really know my limitations. It's awesome you have a venue of that.
What's it called again? The venue? What was
Six Springs Tavern. It's in Richardson.
It's in Richardson on Main Street.
Was it called something else back in the day or anything?
I don't know. It's a shopping center bar.
Oh no, man.
So I don't know. So what was interesting? Okay, so 80 people in there was considered sold out. They weren't even letting anybody come in because they had already sold 80 tickets. None of the wait staff wore masks.
Oh, that's not good.
And no one acted like COVID had ever come to town.
Well, there's a lot of that getting thrown. I kind of wanted to get to that in the show.
Yeah, not enough people died, so who gives a shit?
So this is the most interesting thing I found with all this. Besides,
oh wait, what about the 6 feet? That's what I wanted to ask you.
No one
was doing that.
No one observed any of that. Maybe the
we're not
tables
doing
were 6
that
feet
now.
apart. Maybe the tables were 6 feet apart, but everybody's bouncing around, going table to table,
not.
and having fun and getting drunk, and I don't know.
No one's been doing that for the past 2 weeks.
No. So anyway, back to the kids. This his guitarist midway through the set rips out a double neck SG.
Oh, nice.
And he's up there ripping.
A real one? A real Gibson? Or was it an Epi?
It was I think it was an Epi. I have to look at the pictures.
It's a fucking expensive little guitar if it was a Gibson.
12 and 6. And it was badass.
What they do? Zeppelin?
He was shredding all sorts of stuff. All their original stuff. Like halfway through the set, he switched to it. It's like, you're like 22 years old up there. 21, 22, whatever. Ripping out a...
Mastodon?
A two-neck guitar and just, look at me, look at what I can do. And he was very entertaining. That band, their band is very entertaining. The first band.
What's it called? What's the name of the band?
Vinyl Device.
And that's your friend's band?
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
So,
I have to go check them out.
The thing that bothered me, didn't really bother me, it made me jealous. Extremely jealous.
Oh, I know these kids, how badass they are at the age of 16.
They had all their parents there, and their parents were their road crew. Set up all their shit for them.
Hell yeah.
Do you know, that pissed me off.
Don't get used to that, kids.
Yeah.
It's not going to last.
It's not going to last. But I was like,
last at all.
God dang it. You got your parents here, and they're setting up your pedal boards and your amps and getting your bass out
so
for
they
you
technically
and your
didn't sell it
you.
out because their parents were part of that 80 capacity.
Maybe. Yeah, probably.
They don't get paid.
They almost sold
this.
it out.
But I was like, man, I miss those days. I can count on one hand how many shows my mom came to, and I can count on no fingers how many my dad came to.
My parents never came to any show.
Can't talk to them about Black Dad.
No. Well, we could back in the day, but we can't talk about your Black Dad now. No. So, what if we had the money, us three had the money to open a comedy and metal venue, like call it the Asylum or something, and put it in Halton City? I think we'd be successful.
No.
With his
Halton City?
Yeah.
You lost me with putting
Halton
in a
City?
city nobody's heard of. So
Halton City has been heard of.
by people in a 10-mile radius.
Fucking anywhere in Florida. I mean, Florida.
I'd say
if I'm struggling to do
anywhere
this
in Fort Worth.
If I struggled for 2 years to do this shit at Mass,
you don't think you
no,
would,
I'm not nothing
the
like
talent
that's
pool
happen.
of the people that we know in aggressive music and your
I've been trying to combine the
comedy.
aggressive music and the comedy
I'm
world
talking
for
about-
years,
and
but
also-
people that play aggressive music aren't fucking humorous
right.
people.
You're also
They're
talking
elitist
about
dickbags.
My
who
entire
are
band
broke.
is. My entire
sure.
band is a bunch of.
But you're talking about you're still
hilarious.
talking about
Elitist
the
dickbags?
two main
Probably.
things. But we also know what a cool bar feels like and stuff too. I think we have we know when we walk into a new bar that this place is a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Like we're experienced enough. And
I
think we would know what would be a cool bar
I
too.
think Mass is the perfect spot.
Mass right on the
Oh, it's
edge
great.
there,
Everything
fucking right
is
by the
fucking
highway.
Great.
It's
You
got
pull
everything
off, you get there.
except the crowd that supposedly supports diverse voices and shit.
Wonder if that. But
I want to go
what if
on.
that-
Hey,
what do you
shut
think would
the fuck
happen
up for a
if it
second.
was
I want to
in
go on
Arlington?
record and say, like, this is what sucks. Is like I can go online if I wanted to and type Black Lives Matter. That's fine. Got nothing against that.
Well, this
But
took a
I
different
feel
angle.
like people say that so they feel good and their friend, they know their friends think, they've
virtue signaling.
Oh, there's a lot of that.
They've
Yeah.
appeased their friends and everything. But here's the thing that I don't want to post it, but since I'm on a podcast, I want to say it. Like I purposely make my shows diverse. I don't put that on the fucking flyer. I don't
Your
virtue.
comedy shows?
I'm not going to virtue signal on my flyer. I've been like comedy is best. It works for the comedy show's best when you do it the way I do. When it's diverse,
Yeah,
you have
for sure.
men, women. Like if you want, I will check the diversity checklist off of I think I've
you can
checked
if you
all
want
those.
to.
I almost had a trans woman, but she broke her arm before she went on tour with my friend Ariel, who's a, let's say, genderless lesbian. I don't know, but like I've checked that. Like that's what I've been
someone
doing
saying
for
you're not?
years.
Is someone
And-
saying you're not? You don't do that?
Well, here's the thing. Like I feel there's.
I've always thought that.
Well,
You did.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know. But everyone, they're like, now there's this whole, you have to say something because silence is violence, apparently.
That's a very confusing.
And so I'm like,
slogan.
wait, of course,
You're about to trigger me again.
I've been supporting diverse
'Cause you're
voices.
going into my spot.
Even I've had black
You're
head.
gonna
Like
get 'em
here's the
angry at
whole.
will.
But I feel like saying this. I feel like I'm saying the whole. Well, I had black friends thing, which of course I'm in comedy. Comedy. That's why I love the comedy world because it's inherently
diverse.
So
That's
Wait,
what
wait,
I
wait,
love
wait.
about it.
Before we start going down this, I've got something to say about last week.
Yeah.
was that
Will
with
was the
kid?
reason that you assaulted me last week.
Why?
I figured it out. Will was your anger when you assaulted me about the robots. What was the
drones?
The drones and what was the other thing? The drones and the anyway. Will did that to me.
Can't believe my headphones broke. These are new ones, but
Will owes you headphones, and he owes me an apology.
why was he fucking with you?
No, because I got assaulted by you.
Oh,
because of Will. He pissed you off.
Fucking Will.
God. Okay, sorry, man.
What were you gonna? You said you're getting triggered. By
So
it.
I'm entering my triggered land here
great.
with what you were saying because this week, like Sunday, I went shooting at a badass new shooting range, and was driving back. It was an hour away from here. I'm driving back, and I'm just sitting here thinking about different things, about shit I've seen on Facebook, whatever, and I'm hungry. And then
Nothing worse than being grumpy and hungry.
after shooting and smelling gunpowder all day.
Good gosh.
And so as I'm driving, I start wondering, like, I see a Taco Bell. I'm like, well, I can't eat there anymore.
Why?
Because Facebook told me I can't because it's ran by a bunch of racists.
Taco Bell is?
I can't go to Wendy's
wait.
anymore.
When did Taco Bell
Did you
go
not
on the
see this
racism
story?
list?
Wendy's, in Texas, a lot of the Taco Bells, Wendy's, and Pizza Huts are all owned by Yum Brands. It's a guy down in San Antonio, and he owns a bunch of franchises. Well, he donated a bunch of money to the Trump campaign, the Republican GOP, and so
he's a racist because he did that.
a lot of people are boycotting his stuff because he's supporting the.
But he's not like David
left.
Duke, like blatantly saying some
No,
fucking
no.
stupid racial
He
shit.
just
or
donated
anything.
money.
He just donated
all
money
these
to the
all
Republicans.
these people on the left are getting mad and posting who's donating to who and how you should boycott them. Kind of like the Chick-fil-A crap and the.
They've tried that.
Hobby
It doesn't
Lobby.
work.
Hobby Lobby.
Is it the actual politicians that are doing it too, or is it just their constituents and hyped up Democrats?
I don't know who's all doing it or where, but the news put this out, and so everybody ran with, you got to boycott Taco Bell Co.
What?
You
Nope.
got to or Corp.
No.
You got to
No.
boycott Wendy's. You got to
No,
boycott.
I just had Wendy's.
PepsiCo because they own Pizza Hut and Taco Bell.
I only wanted a Pepsi.
Because the franchisee is the one who donated.
Yeah, the franchisee.
Not the company, but everybody started taking it out on the company.
And that's
going
what
to
he
Twitter
is.
and
He's
attacking-
not.
People
He's not
don't
affiliated.
know
Yeah,
how
okay.
shit works.
No, they don't.
And
they just
that's
get mad.
what-
No, and
I
that's
hate
what
about
pisses
everything.
me off. So this is my slow ramp up. Is that pissed me off? And then I'm like, well, fuck, I can't go eat anywhere because I'll be judged about it on Twitter. There'll be some motherfucker up there standing in the drive-through line taking pictures of people and posting on social media if I go to Taco Bell.
Has that happened?
No
Has
one
there been people
has-
taking
no
pictures
one
of-
has
Who the
that
fuck knows? Look
much
what's going on
time
right
their
now.
hands.
Here we go.
Dude.
Dude, there is stupid shit going on of people taking pictures of people being in places that they shouldn't be or need to be boycotted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
it's fucking dumb. So that's going through my head. I'm like, well, now where can I
You're
eat?
still hungry.
And so then I'm thinking, well, maybe I should consult Facebook.
You're
What's
probably a
safe
little
to eat
parched
today?
too, you know?
Yeah,
Probably
yeah, it
needed
was
something to
hot. It
drink.
was really hot. I was dry. So I'm like, maybe I should consult Facebook and see where I need to go eat. Where
Here
can I
comes
go
Nut
eat?
Punch
Facebook.
round two. I
Yeah.
can
Think,
guarantee
think
you.
about this.
I didn't do it.
If
I
you
just
don't-
went to Taco.
Well, here's why all
Taco
that
Casa.
shit is so
Played it
dumb.
safe.
Because say you you didn't go to that Taco Bell. Say you're really hungry and you're gonna buy like $5-6 worth of food. So you didn't. And say that $5-6 worth of food is so that you didn't spend that money there. Well, say whoever is managing that shit and in charge of the schedule, oh, that $5-6, say it didn't hit a certain goal. So they're like, fuck, we're not making enough profit or margin. So I gotta cut hours. And
They get
say there's like 3 people of color who get their hours cut and they
Because of
lose
me?
money because you didn't go and buy $6 worth of Taco Bell.
Because I'm scared of Facebook.
So now they're all out a shift or a certain amount of hours
Yeah.
because people
This
don't
is
understand how
interesting.
shit works.
So check this out. You can
And-
even take it a step
And
further.
there's
No.
take the franchisee thing.
The thing
Yeah.
is, people don't read the goddamn article. It says up there, a franchise
franchise?
operator
Yeah.
donated money. And they're like, well, fuck these businesses and fuck these companies, and I need to tweet and I need to do that. And you're like,
because they shouldn't be having people
And,
that
like-
have franchises that are affiliated to that
and you know how
and tied
smart
to their
ass
company.
Wendy's is on Twitter, right? They
Oh
always
yeah,
put those
they are.
smart
Yeah,
ass shit out there.
yeah.
Well, I think their response was like, It's not us, dumbasses. It's a franchisee. It's not the whole company.
People don't know
We
how
have
shit
control over
works.
them. It's Yum Brands.
I think if I owned a company that made cheeseburgers, I would let Dustin run the Twitter page.
Let's do it. That sounds like
I just put him in charge of that. Like, here you go, man. Try
People
not to
will-
get us.
They'll blame they'll blame the entire company for what one franchisee does, and then or in the complete bottom end of the spectrum,
So-
they'll blame the one person that may have been that might be a piece of shit or was just having
Yeah.
a shitty day, and they'll go complain about them and want you to boycott the whole store because they have to be a full Karen about it, or because of the franchisee shit. People don't know. Here's the thing.
they don't
I
research
know
shit.
I know
No, they
the
don't. They
things
don't,
I
man.
don't know, and I take that into account of like when people. I don't I don't believe much of anything I hear or know, even if it's from someone that I know and trust. If they tell you something, and unless this person has exposed themselves of every vulnerability, and this person will tell you the absolute truth. Even people I know and trust, I don't believe, I believe what they've said. I believe that's how they experienced it. But also you have to remember, everybody's a hero in their own story. Like if they're like, oh, this person cut me off and oh, that son of a bitch and all of that, they won't tell you I was on my phone and I was a dick too. People won't tell you the unbridled truth, that's why I'm slowly, the older I get, the more I'm keeping my opinions to myself, and how I'm like, I'm never going to fully be able to convey how I came to a certain conclusion to somebody, because people will only hear that and assume a bunch of other shit, which is why I'm getting fed up in society in general, comedy and all that shit. Oh, you know how many times I see somebody and I'm just kind of like, oh man, they virtue signal every fucking thing out of their mouth, but a part of me is just like, hey, I heard this rumor that you beat your girlfriend,
just a matter of time.
They're not going to
before one
tell
of us
you
gets
that, but also
rumor.
I'm like, but oh man, I'm talking about someone in particular. I'm just like, I heard you beat your girlfriend, but also you say
They said it to you?
No, through a friend of mine
said that they heard that you beat your girlfriend?
I'm like,
or?
I see this person, I talk to him, and I'm just kind of like, man, I heard you beat your girlfriend. And I'm thinking that as they're saying all this shit, this very virtuous shit that they're right about all the politics. They have all the answers, but also a part of me is just like, yeah, but you're a fucking bartender at a dive bar.
Yeah. I've
if
had
you
a
have
few
so
of
many
those.
fucking answers about everything, why aren't you better at being a person? I know my limitations. Also, I'm a comedian, so I have this weird little outlet. But even in comedy, you can't say certain things, or you get ostracized and all that. And all that.
Yeah.
Oh,
But you got to be careful about casting your opinions of others right now.
But also,
Very-
I back my shit up by being a person, being a producer. I'm just like, by being someone that connects to this greater, awesome comedy world that is diverse. I love that comedy is diverse.
Yeah.
And I don't like this whole hey, silence is violence, you better say something. I'm just like, I go out of my way. I spend my money to give a voice to give a platform to minority voices, to whoever might fucking show up. And then but then there's a full lineup of bands who are all white that are just like, we love diversity and shit. I'm just like, why don't you come to my show and fucking support it and throw some money in the tip jar? I'm not even charging you fucking cover. And it's just I've always, I don't go this is the one time I feel okay patting myself on the back about it. Just because I'm like, how else am I going to say? I don't want to fucking go on a diatribe about Facebook. I'm just like, I love that I can, this person went on the road.
Facebook enough.
This person went on the road to come to do my show to talk shit about white people, but it's also fucking funny.
And it's
That's
great.
amazing.
So that's my question is, I was thinking about this after you were on a couple of weeks ago, how you were feeling about what comedy's going to return to once all this starts clearing up.
Consulting.
Oh, it's taking on a whole new element now.
It totally
When I
has.
was here, it was all COVID. Now it's all the comments talk about COVID. So I'm like, well, now, oh shit. Well, now you got to cut that in half and talk about COVID and I don't know. What do you
but
call
can
it?
you
Race
get
relations. I'm just
what
like,
can you get away with?
Great,
who
more
fucking
racial jokes.
knows? Well, okay. What's funny?
Because you're talking about ostracization.
You bring this
I
up.
can't even talk.
I think that's
So,
right. Ostracization.
My Twitter's fucking nothing.
Ostracizing
I
people?
follow
Something like
these same people and all this shit. So, actually, okay. So, do you remember Bret Weinstein?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, he was at Evergreen College. They had, that whole, his claim to fame was like, he didn't like this whole, it's like, hey, let's kick all the white people off of campus one day. And I was just like, yeah, that's weird. And then, that was around the intellectual dark web shit. So here's his, and since he's an academic,
I'd be like, do I get an A?
So here's
Yeah,
his
you can kick
tweet.
me off of campus. I'm out.
I tweet something, I get like 5
Go party.
likes. I'm like, whatever. Twitter's
Dude,
just
I'm
whatever.
lucky if I even get acknowledged in the world
I know.
of Twitter. I'm
It's so
in the
dumb.
biggest void ever. And I'm
But
at genius jokes.
I'm at 50
Fucking
likes on a
genius
reply
jokes.
now because okay, here we go. Bret Weinstein.
You made a reply.
Yeah. Oh, he goes.
Okay.
So there's a hashtag. Starts that hashtag shut down STEM, science, technology, engineering, medicine, and he goes is insidious. The official plan is for one day, but the leaders are ideologically anti-STEM because truth is not on their side. This all happened at Evergreen in 2017. The leaders targeted STEM faculty and students. As with the police, they want STEM shut down. And so, that's been his, his takes have been like that the last couple of days because all this has gone back to the college where it all started. Because you had like the Jordan Peterson thing, Weinstein thing, Berkeley, because that's where the whole like Antifa thing. To me, that's where I was just kind of like, hey,
That was
assholes, let the fucker speak. I don't give a shit that it's Milo Yiannopoulos. He already has a platform on this thing called the fucking internet. Who gives a shit that he's speaking live in person at UC Berkeley, which to me was astonishing that they even approved it to begin with. But I'm like, oh, hey, this is
Have
still
you
a
ever looked back into his stuff?
Yeah. But like, and then they go and all this bullshit and people attacking people because he's speaking live in person, but also the internet exists and his videos are already out there and all that shit. That's where I was just kind of like, why do you give this much of a fuck that someone's making a lecture at their, like you actually went and started. Okay. So then my reply was, so this whole anti-STEM thing, my reply was, I don't know how else to use this, but I thought of it and it won't leave my head. Anti-STEmite. And I'm at 50 likes right now.
That one's actually pretty good.
And like, I have nowhere else to use that. But
No,
I
you
got
can't just post that on Facebook.
I got now 51 likes on a reply from this academic who got popular because he stood against the mob of, the social justice warrior thing, where it just kind of like, it's college, motherfucker. Just deal with it.
It's weird. That whole thing was weird, how the kids just took over the faculty and just took over the school for a little bit, and the faculty's like, "Oh yeah, you can."
Well,
do
that was
whatever you
also
want.
the time.
Doesn't bend over and take it.
That's also the time when PayPal started looking at content, YouTube started looking at content, Spotify came out looking at content.
Yeah, because that was right before.
That was all
Alex
not
Jones.
Right, that's when all that shit started, man.
Getting pulled up.
They started going to the campuses and censoring everybody that spoke there and getting pissed about the people that spoke there, and then all of a sudden the social media started doing stuff. That's when Patreon started acting weird about content. And me and you chickened out of doing
GoFundMe's
it.
doing the same thing now.
Yeah, because they started
It's a slippery
anything
slope.
questionable.
I don't get
Any
how people
questionable,
don't
controversial
understand. This has
topic.
always been like a fact. So go back to like George Carlin, Lenny Bruce. It's like, oh, this guy got put in jail for all that. They're like, why did he get put in jail? Oh, I need to check this shit out. When you protest something, like same thing with like Berkeley, when you make that much of a stink about it, whether it's protesting that resorts to violence or whatever, I don't know how it never crosses your mind to be like, hey, if what we do garners all this attention, you are giving much more attention to the thing you want to shut down.
That's always been my argument about crazy things.
Yeah.
Is like the more you talk about something.
That's the thing. We haven't seen the backlash of all this, which is there is gonna be some freaking white supremacist groups that get together now that are full of piss and vinegar.
You know what's funny?
There's gonna be a backlash.
So
swing the other way.
Yeah.
When I heard the whole when I was like, oh, Antifa's becoming
I still
like
think
a thing.
it should be said. Everything that's being said right now, but
So,
still,
a guy that's always
it's just the way the society moves.
Are you familiar with Andy
Sucks.
No?
Mm-mm.
He's the guy. He was
Yeah.
on Rogan. Yeah,
Yeah.
he got in Portland.
Oh yeah, no,
he was the one that was reporting on Antifa.
So
Yeah, I know.
What's so
I remember
funny
that.
about
Yeah.
all this is that the Antifa people call
He
this,
got embedded
this
with them?
gay Asian guy a white supremacist or white nationalist, which to me is hilarious because I'm just like,
he got beat up really bad
Yeah.
too a while back, didn't
and
he?
so you can debate his ethics in reporting or whatnot, but I was just kind of like, oh man. So the whole all the protests, then the protests have turned riots, and even fucking Trump saying talk about Antifa. I was just kind of like, oh, I'm like, I've watched Andy No's Twitter followers go up. He was at like 300 and I want to say 60, 70, or 80,000. He's right now at 408,000 because I knew for a fucking fact that people are going to be like, what's this Antifa thing? And they're going to go look around it and
see his pictures and stuff. Just his commentary,
whoever.
All of it.
And he's one of the already most prominent, people that's been talking about him for years. And he's at 408,000 people now because I'm just like, that's exactly what's going to happen. And then you have you have people saying, oh, Antifa doesn't exist. But then people are saying it doesn't exist, but then they talk about it like it does exist. And to me, luckily, I never got that.
It's like
deep
Anonymous.
Into punk rock.
It's the same thing as like Anonymous. I think like it's there, but there's no conformity to it at all. So you're not gonna have someone that's like the prime leader of Antifa. I think.
Oh, you're not. But that's
unless you want to
also
be a real conspiracy theorist, and that's Soros.
And
the one thing
QAnon.
The one thing I do know
set the
about
alarm
George
off.
Soros is that he is a currency manipulator. So
He
he's
is?
a piece.
He's everything.
No, that's how he got really rich.
Yeah.
Is he manipulates currency? So I'm like,
if you trade in Forex, you find that out really quick.
I'm just
That's
like,
the
well,
thing
fuck
that's
that
funny,
guy
man.
for being a rich piece of shit. But also, he's on record about like he wants to get involved in
How
American
funny is it
elections
that
and
you
all
can
that, and
you say anything about Soros and you're a right wing freak conspiracy theorist, but you could say something about Russia being fully like Trump being fully on Russia's payroll, and you're completely okay.
It's the times we live in.
As long
man.
as you're
I don't
not-
understand.
It's funny. It's
That's
so
okay
funny, man.
as long as you're not talking
It's-
about who's on China's payroll because
Yeah.
they don't want you
That's
to think
the other
about
thing
that
too. You can't say one negative thing about China, but you can say whatever you want about this
I
godforsaken
wish
country.
I wish the social justice movement would give one iota modicum of a shit about Hong Kong
Yeah,
and
no
China
shit.
in general.
They
I wish
were there for a little bit,
yeah, like
and then when Corona started hitting,
Yeah,
in
then it
China,
was
then
just
that
like,
started being a
no,
big thing.
yeah.
But there was starting to be a movement here about the Hong Kong protest and supporting those people.
This is might start off a whole nother fucking
Yeah.
heat bag. Then I wanted to move on, but I told you about that video that I saw the other day. I don't know if this was staged. There was two videos I saw. I don't know if they're staged or not. One of them, there was a guy with his phone going up to people and asking them, like trying to look for white guilt and asking them to kneel before them. And you came up with the greatest line ever.
I would.
What?
If you
Go ahead, say your line.
my line was if someone
Say,
came
"Hey,
up
man,
to me
you
and
need to
goes,
kneel-
you need to
kneel to me."
kneel for
Yeah.
your white guilt or whatever.
Yeah.
I've been. I am Uhtred, son of Uhtred, king of Brandenburg, and I bow
kneel-
before no Saxon or Dane.
Dude, that's your way out of any argument.
Yes.
What's
I
that
am Uhtred,
from?
son
Is
of
that
Uhtred,
For the last
sword of vagabond.
the show you're talking
Last
about?
Kingdom.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it sounds
I
like
kneel before no Saxon nor Dane. I've kneeled
thought-
before Saxon.
what was the movie?
I kneel before no Saxon.
No
or Dane.
Saxon or
This is
Dane.
a show you're talking about?
Yeah, it's a.
What's it on?
Netflix.
Netflix.
That's what I was
Okay.
telling you about.
Sports
You got to
series.
watch it, man. It's fucking awesome.
What was the
It'll take
one
you about a
about?
month, too. You're not out of
the
Netflix
Crusades way back in the day.
Ooh.
Or
Yeah,
I can't
I don't. Was that on Netflix?
no, this is like a movie.
This is
theatrical
about the
movie.
beginning of Western civilization, like the Anglo-Saxons and
Oh,
the,
okay.
England
the
coming
Danes.
together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Them
okay.
it all
fighting
got-
together to become
The very
England,
beginning
create
of
England.
civilization, kind of when
Okay.
we started. All this tribalism actually
There's
started.
a
in
movie
this-
about like the Crusades, and
There
what's
is-
funny is
what was that?
it had Dr. Bashir
Yeah.
from Deep Space Nine.
Indiana
in it.
Jones and the Temple.
Yeah.
In the
No, this is
No,
actually
Last
set
Crusade.
back then, and it was called something, and it wasn't the last castle.
the last.
Kalima
It wasn't
Shakti
that. The last castle was with Robert Redford, and what sucks is one thing I do regret about he was like a military. He was in a prison and whatnot. I worked at a movie theater at the time, and I had a poster for the last castle that had an upside down American flag
Yeah.
because that's what they did in the movie
In
to
the
show,
movie.
hey, something's going on at this prison. You might want to come check it out. And what sucks is that poster was quickly taken down because that movie came out right before 9/11.
Damn.
Oh, really?
And I had that. I hung it up in my room. We thought that was all punk rock and badass. Little did I know, I was like, "Fuck, that was a collector's item," and I
Yeah.
eventually just went in the trash. At
Wasn't
some
there an
point.
album that was supposed to have it on there too?
There's probably plenty of them that do.
I felt like there was an album that was supposed to have, like, was Soulfly or Sepultura or someone was supposed to have an album that had the Twin Towers getting.
There was a.
Or was it a rap? It might have been a rap.
No. It was a rap album with these two guys, and one guy was
yeah.
hitting like a detonation.
Yeah, that's what
button,
it was. Yeah.
And like the towers. Apparently, that was like one that came out on 9/11.
Can you imagine being like,
because it was a Tuesday.
You go and submit it that night. You're like, yeah, man, we're gonna get an album. And then you wake up.
Same thing
with
Slayer.
Hey,
Same thing with Slayer.
You haven't started on the printing of that yet, right?
God Hates Us All came out that day too.
That is God Hates Us All came out.
Fucking
because 666 came out on 666. 6606.
Oh, okay.
Fuck. You just went somewhere and it cracked me up.
Oh, about the band? Like, hey,
no,
did y'all print those?
The flag thing, the upside down flag, I think was
Yeah.
the Sepultura album, and they made them change. The record label made them change it.
Yeah,
That's kind of weird because they're Brazilian. It's like,
they're Brazilian.
Yeah.
hey, fuck with your own flag.
Well, remember when the Black Crowes had an album that came out that they made the pubes get trimmed?
Oh, disgusting! It's
Was
a
that
bikini
Amorica?
bottom.
Yeah.
Amorica.
Was it
the one,
Amorica?
and if you have one that has it on there,
Then
it's a
they blacked
collector's
it out.
item, isn't it?
They blacked it out to a little triangle
Oh, I thought they
for a little
shaved.
bit.
They
Or
did
it was
a
like
shave.
they put a plastic thing on it so you couldn't see the pubes. There was different ways they did it. Then I think they finally put one out without.
You know what I
pubes on
always
it.
imagined?
It was
It
gross.
was Kate Hudson.
Not too dark for her.
It was dark,
Wait.
wasn't it? It's probably one of the guys in the band.
So
Probably Robinson's.
one of the, since he had to go TT, the other thing that like
Did you
really
invite him?
I just found him on the side of the road.
It's Brian, y'all. If you haven't,
Yeah, if
Brian
y'all haven't figured out,
Breckenridge.
Brian Breckenridge from 2 weeks ago.
He's
The gun
crashing-
range.
He's
You-
crashing out here in the shed, so we kind of
Since he's out there, we'll hit on that. The gun range I went to on
Yeah,
Sunday.
what was so badass about it?
I'm not gonna say the name, but it's cheap as shit. And
Okay.
you can stay out there all day for $30.
Yeah, but is there a chance you're going to get shot?
No.
Okay, it's one of those places where it's all
No.
chaos.
No,
like,
it's not chaos.
You're going to be a
It's-
gun professional.
No, it's one of the nicest ranges I've ever been to.
where was it at? You said
They dug into the mountain, into this hill. They dug little areas like that are like 20 yards wide by 100 yards long, where it's your area and you can set it up however you want. You can put targets up wherever or steel at the very end, however you want. And they basically just say, you go in there, you take a tour, they tell you the rules, you pay your money, and they're like, okay, have fun.
Huh.
And so they have all these different little alleys set up,
Scary, dude.
dug
Scares
into
me.
this mountain. Everybody out there's cool as shit. Well, the one place you don't want to cause shit is at a gun range.
No, I don't think it's because of all the crazy people with guns. I think it's because with that many people shooting around, it's almost like a war zone if you didn't have the alley set up.
Yeah, there
And I
was.
could just see it
yeah.
hitting like a bolt and then go, bing,
It
dong,
wasn't
ching, dong,
wide
dong,
open.
bing, dong.
But the cool thing is they had a range where you can.
Drink.
It was. I was wrong the other day. They had targets at 100, 200, and 300. And if you got a nice tight grouping with your rifle at 300,
Yeah.
and you took it up front, they would take you up to their big range and get you qualified. That was
Like
1,200 yards.
Ooh, damn.
And you know what you can shoot up there.
The 50 cal?
Yeah.
Damn.
But a 1,200 yard range.
That's cool, man.
It was a really, really cool
$30?
spot. $30 all day.
Damn.
You can shoot there.
Is
as
it always
much you
going to be
want.
like that, or is it just
Uh-huh.
something they're
No,
doing
it's-
right now?
It's always, and if one of us becomes a member of the party we went to, then friends are only $20 all day.
And where, I forgot what you said the location. East, west, north, south?
It's down
Northeast.
by Waxahachie.
Okay.
So it was an hour door to door from right here when I pulled out. It was
That ain't
totally
bad.
worth it though. You're left alone. No one jacks with you. There's no range officer running around telling you to stop. Stop, quiet. Put them down.
Yeah, I had a
whatever,
buddy
as
that
they
got
do
kicked
shit.
me out of at Kennedale gun range for my 22. You know that 22?
Mhm.
It only holds like 8 rounds of the rifle that I have.
Mhm.
You've heard me talk about my buddy Matt that I grew up with. Fucking didn't know what semi-auto fire was. And the guy came down. He was popping off a few rounds. And it's only 8. It only held 8.
Yeah.
Guy came down. I was like, hey, no semi-auto fire. And so I was like, and Matt was like, yeah, okay. We kept shooting. Then he loads it back up again and then goes, tot, 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 tot. I was like, dude, that's semi-auto fire. He's like, no, it's not auto at all, man. I'm like, no, he's not. I go, okay, great. He's like, whatever. We're not going to get in trouble. Next thing you know,
Guy walks in.
boss, back your shit up. Get the hell out of here. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, there was none of this at this place because the guy in the stall over the area over next to us,
Yeah.
he brought his full auto, so every once in a while you hear,
yeah. Yeah, it
he had
also
like a little mini 14.
it
Mac
also
10.
didn't help that my best friend Matt at the time was also smoking a cigarette while he was shooting his gun too.
Oh,
It's
that's
like,
double badass right there.
You can do that at this place because it's out in the
They
open.
don't care, huh?
They don't care.
How much do guns cost? I fired a gun once in my
pretty
life.
cheap now.
What
I
kind
got
of gun do
nothing
you want?
against them. They just, I don't know. They're how much would be like a decent handgun?
A decent handgun?
Yeah.
You could, if you just went straight up, like
a decent
Like
beginner
250?
gun.
yeah,
Something
you
like
could probably
that.
get in 250. If you wanted something that's pretty good, you're looking at about $4,500.
Okay.
yeah.
See, that's the one thing that I've had nothing against guns my whole
Yeah,
life.
it's cool.
Never grew up around them. I'm
The
pretty
first
sure
test
my dad
is-
never had one. No one in my family is
Yeah.
really about them. Nothing against or for them.
You got to make
And then-
sure that you load it up to like figure out how to load the gun, then you drop it off at a daycare center.
Okay.
Just drop
Yeah.
it,
Just
throw it in the
leave
yard.
Yeah, just throw it in the yard.
That's what
With
you're
your
supposed to do
prints
with them.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
make
throw
sure
it
your
in there.
hands are all over it.
Yeah.
Just that to me, I'm just I'm a
Take it to the McDonald's McDonald's playground and drop it in there.
I'm pro capitalism, but I'm a shitty consumer because I don't buy shit.
I don't either, man. I
Which,
always act
to me,
like
I'm
I do,
like-
like I'm a baller.
Which to me is
but
fine because I'm just
fucking am
like
so shy
I'm like
to
you
buy
guys
things.
have your fun because you can have all the government programs you want, but also like I don't think they really do what they want to do, and then
Yeah.
you're taking my money to do that.
Yeah.
But also try creating a government program, but also try to be like, oh, hey, the demand for that's not there anymore. Try to decrease the budget, and good fucking luck with that. But at least in capitalism, you can be like, hey, there's no market for that anymore.
Yeah.
Bye bye, and then you have
See,
to
I don't-
die,
I
and
don't
that's
buy
great.
much, man.
But like guns are just expensive. and
I
I'm just
seriously
like,
to spend money on anything that's cool, I have to think I've got a cancer diagnosis coming or something, and then I'll go ahead and buy something nice. It's like,
That's
oh,
how you
shit.
have to.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm supposed to. I'm
yeah,
still.
I don't
having-
like spending big amounts of money.
I know,
unless
it's weird.
just something like an opportunity, like I've been wanting one of these,
Yeah.
or and this guy has one for
Yeah.
half off, or
Now,
$4
I
off,
have-
can't bypass it.
I have been vacationing or partying and fucking been like, fuck it, I'm just gonna spend my money and drop some money before.
I've done that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like
Yeah, like I do the experience thing more than the material thing.
Yeah,
The material thing
experience
is
way
way
more-
Exactly.
I'm
It's
always
like, I
more
gotta-
into experience.
Yeah.
So I got shit that like not like expensive shit, but I got shit like there's all these DVDs. I'm just like I have not touched that DVD case
Yeah.
in over 6 years or something.
What
I'm
do
like,
you do with them?
why is it even fucking there?
You used to have a collection of
DVDs.
them.
I do. I don't know, but DVDs
Oh, my
aren't going to
best-
come back. It's not going to be like vinyl. There's no reason for them to come back.
Same thing with CDs.
You don't
I
think
just,
the
like, I
jackets
don't-
and stuff or any of that will come back as nostalgia like the vinyls have?
I don't know.
Probably not, because there's just something classic about a vinyl.
Man, it's clutter. I mean, it's just shit.
Yeah.
It's just extra shit.
Yeah, vinyl. That's its own thing because you got the artwork on there.
I
and
like
then
putting
you-
my dick.
No
print
one
on
really gives a
CDs.
shit about movie artwork because it's like
it's real
the
easy to
movie.
do.
It's the fucking movie. Like the album art, that's like separate from the music because it's like you can't connect the two. You
Yeah.
have the audio part and then you have the visual part, and
Yeah.
that's expanded on the vinyl. And that shit, I get it.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's kind of dumb at points when people go really,
Yeah.
really. I love every joke about vinyl that's ever existed. It's it's hilarious to make fun of, but I know I understand its importance.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. You got
Yeah.
the blown up album art that's just shrunk down and just doesn't have the impact on the CD, and you're like, oh, okay.
That's the Jerry Jonestown Massacre tribute. If you get a CD from us,
Yeah.
you got it, girl.
Yeah, you got it.
You got the dick print.
But movies, they're
I
like
used to do that to Shelby. When
movies
she
will
ran
never be as
dick
good
print
as
on
they
the
are.
CD warehouse. Just
Movie-
smash one on there. And then
movies are the
take it
best in the theater,
Oh,
and you're
God.
getting the same thing on a fucking DVD. And I'm like, you're not gonna get that experience that you get at a theater. And and that doesn't really compare to music because live is different from
So,
an album.
Jesse
What year,
Fry-
wait.
what are we
What year did you work there again? We
I
just
didn't-
talked about
I didn't
this.
work at CD Warehouse.
Oh, where was it you worked that had CDs? You were talking about getting CDs for.
Oh, Best Buy I would, but when I got tired of stuff, she worked at CD Warehouse.
Oh, so I was going to say, if you worked at a CD warehouse and you're a female, and you used to go to CD warehouse from 92 to 94, somewhere in there, there's a good chance you have a CD in your CD collection that has dust and DNA on it.
No, there probably is. But the funny thing was,
DNA,
Shelby was the one, you took her CDs, she would always open them up, pop it open, turn it over to make sure it wasn't scratched, and there would be the dick print.
Yeah.
That was what was funny.
It's what we were talking about at your jam the other night. A little dose of what it was.
Adolescent Watery Seed. That's the new song we're working on. It's called Adolescent Watery Seed.
So if you got a CD from CD Warehouse that Dustin worked at from 92 to 94, there's a good chance you got a little DNA from a adolescent watery seed.
A little splashed on there.
Good Lord, man.
So, yeah. I thought it would.
We were trying to be serious. I'm sorry.
No. This ain't serious. This is funny.
No, we're disgusting
this isn't
people.
just as funny as that, though.
Adolescent.
Or it's not as funny as that. Jessie Fry's putting out her new record, her new album here in a couple of weeks.
What's it called?
And I saw her ad for it, and it says you can get it on mini disc. I got excited. I'm gonna give my mini disc player.
Well, she already
out.
did the little.
I barely know what that is.
The tape, yeah, I've got the tape in
the
here.
Tapes, yeah. She
The
did
digital tape.
That's cool, man.
But it's not
mini disc came
it's
out.
not tape. It's
before,
not tape.
Didn't mini disc? I thought mini disc came out before the. Okay, we had the big disc, the full version disc, and then we had the small disc, and then you had mini disc. And mini disc, they actually started putting in camcorders, right?
Yeah, you could start recording for a little while.
Something like that. But anyway.
Yeah, she put out a tape that is actually, there's no tape in it. It's a MP3 player.
It looks like a tape.
With a head that will fit in your tape deck to play. Or you can plug in headphones, or the tape itself
Some of the nerdiest
Bluetooth.
shit I've ever heard.
So you can just set the tape there and let it Bluetooth to your phone and play, or to your speaker.
Yeah, remember
it was fucking
remember
rad.
like 5 or
same thing.
It was like 5 or 10 years ago.
I'm going to say the same thing I say about comedy. Comedy's not that important. Same thing for music. It's not this fucking important to put on these kind of devices.
I think it's cool, man.
I mean, that's a badass creativity. I think that's a badass way to put out a comedy album.
You have to think. Nobody wants to think outside their own mind. Think about the average person that might come across the music, or like nobody cares that much that it's like I have a joke about. I really fucking hate when bands put out a cassette. So
see, that's what I was talking about.
That's why I have a joke about it, because
for
it's
a while
fun
there was
joke.
like 5 or 10 years ago, all the bands were doing it for a little bit. They're
Oh,
starting to release
fuck
other
you,
It's the
man.
cool
Like
thing,
that-
man. We're gonna put tape
especially in
decks back
Austin.
in our car.
In Austin, it
You
was.
can't listen to it in the car. I don't know. Like, luckily, I have a stereo I haven't touched in years at home. I'm not going to listen to it there. I barely listen to music at home.
I have a stereo with no ports. Like, it has no CD port, no tape port, no nothing. It's got a
it's just
USB and
I think that's what most of them are now, aren't
and
they?
Bluetooth.
I think that's what they usually are now. You don't have a
CD
big ass
drive.
receiver where you got to plug things into, right?
Nah,
Just
get rid of
run
those
everything
tape
off.
decks.
Well, it's just like those bands that are those venues now that fucking they're running the whole sound system on their tablet and their phone. Even remember the cat over at the first. I remember
I've seen the tablet
at Tin Panther for a while. The guy was running it on a iPad, and then all of a sudden it started getting cracked and everything. And I went back like 2 weeks later. Motherfucker was doing it with his phone. And I was like, dude,
that's too fucking fancy for what
that,
the Tin
that
Panther
technology
was.
has gotten good.
Yeah, it really has.
It's really, really good, because now anybody can mix with that, and they can keep all the gear, back behind the stage or whatever, and walk
I
out.
wonder if it's ever been hacked while there's a band playing.
I bet you there could be. Yeah,
we should do that to the Me.
But you also got to have levels. You got to have someone good running it.
We should do that to the Me things.
Or you just mute
hack their sound system.
Or you just like mute everything. Obviously the drums will keep going, but you just mute everything and just throw in like porn or something like that. And
or just Rickroll them. Just start playing Rick Astley right in the middle of it.
Never gonna give you up. It's like
fuck.
But what sucks?
I am Uhtred.
What really
Son
sucks
of Uhtred.
is that the
Son of
crowd would be
Vagenbug.
immediately into it, because no
They
one
would
really
love it.
gives a shit
They would love
about
it, yeah.
original
I kneel
creative
to
shit.
no Saxon or Dane.
They would think the band purposely did that.
They probably would. And if the band was good, they'd play it off.
Yeah.
Did you hear what happened in Minneapolis? It was either last week when they hacked the police.
Oh, yeah,
band.
yeah.
Oh gosh.
They just started playing Chocolate Rain over and
Oh
over.
yeah, I
and
did
over
hear about
again.
that.
No, it's funny.
Fucking genius.
Before the podcast started, I was outside peeing, or no, at some point I saw a meme on Twitter, and it was great. It plays into that. It's like, who would have thought? It's like nobody thought that the revolution would start in Minneapolis. ... Except Prince. I was like, damn, what? Where?
That's probably why that happened.
I have not. Yeah, okay.
Prince wasn't there to calm
again. Remember these words. I have not. Now, I have not, but I'm very disappointed from my own point of view because I have not seen anyone
post that on Twitter,
make any kind of a joke.
No one's
about.
Everybody's scared
I'm like,
right now.
I know, but I'm like, it's okay. Prince is black, or I don't know what really is lineage.
I'm scared to not ask Facebook when it's safe to take a shit.
I have a question.
It's getting bad.
Yes, man.
I know you don't look at my Twitter. Every once in a while, you see my Twitter. Did you see my joke I made about the Antifa guy that got pushed backwards and he fell back? The big long dude, and I said,
"Oh, is it the
man?
Buffalo
They're
guy?
fucking up Jack Skeleton too from Nightmare Before Christmas. Not a peep.
The 75-year-old that busted.
Well,
his
here's
head
also
open?
Not a fucking peep.
You think he's Antifa?
Do what?
Do you think he's Antifa?
I saw a thing.
There's so many stories about that 75-year-old that's weird.
Yeah, I hear he's like a. Like,
I just heard that.
I saw a
just
thing
recently
earlier.
Heard that.
Now
he was taking a helmet or something back.
He was going to give a helmet back, is what it looks like. But there are people that said at first he was in the press.
And he was jamming something.
But then there's people that said that he was Antifa and was going up there to fuck with them.
No, here, you want to see?
But did you? My joke.
I'm
my
the
joke was
conspiracy
good.
guy.
No,
I'm the
get
conspiracy
it.
guy. So here's the thing. And I even saw shit
It's a
today
funny
about
joke,
it.
man.
One is that
He looked
and
like
to me,
Jack Skellington.
I always recognize there's things I just cannot know. I'll never know, and you just like, but also. You
Like who killed Kennedy?
You see things on face value, but there's also things you just can't know. So the conspiracy side is that one, he may have had. It looked like he was wearing two masks, and one of them,
the blood thing,
the blood out of his ear. That one was just like he may have had this thing, and you can see like apparently again. The same thing with the whole celebrities having ankle bracelets thing. You got to you pause the thing, you look at it, it forms a certain shape, and you make an assumption. One is that like he had this fake blood, and you can possibly see like a tube going up his shirt. But also I saw a thing earlier that said, one, he's deleted a lot of things off his social media, and that this guy's gotten arrested possibly like 300 times for like activism or something like that. Again, I would like to see, this is what sucks about sources, I'd like to see a link to something.
It's a propagator.
But also that's what sucks about sources.
Isn't that what they call them?
Is you're like, hey, this is also what sucks about having any kind of political argument, whether it's, mainstream or conspiracy, is like, what's your source? And you post a source and then someone's just like, oh, I don't believe that source.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of well, then this argument is futile.
If you don't believe any of the sources that I have, I don't believe any of the sources. Yeah. Yeah, we are at a stalemate because of that.
This is what sucks
because everyone is trying to prove a point.
This is one thing I've thought of just a few days ago, and I'd like to say it here. Okay, everybody hates fucking corporations, right? Like, oh yeah, we can shit on Walmart and all that shit all goddamn day long. Mm-hmm. But why do people just? But everyone on fucking Twitter posts shit from MSN, CNN. Oh,
mainstream
but corporate media is telling you the truth. And so that's what everyone reacts to.
That's a good point.
And I'm like, what?
Kind of what
why do they get to slide?
We don't trust any of the big other companies, insurance companies, doctors,
and what sucks
pharmaceutical
is a lot
firms,
of this comes from
we trust the media.
My very left-leaning, artistic-y music friends. They're musicians.
Shit, we don't trust each other.
We all think we're anti-establishment, and we're all trying. We're support local, buy local. My friend's doing this. I'm like, all right, cool. We're all local. You got your local record labels and shit. And then you fucking post a CNN article. That's fucking egregious. That you like.
It's a double standard. You're talking out of both sides of your mouth when you do that.
And I'm fucking fed up with it. I'm just like,
a lot of that out there, Brian.
oh my god, like you hate big. I love that word. My big business shirt. Like you hate big business.
Good band.
Like why does big media get a pass?
They don't get a. Well, that's one of the things we ran about all the time. Is the bullshit that
there's a lot
of
of
gets a pass because it fits into what they want to believe.
But how bullshit the media is.
Yeah.
And how much they try to manipulate everything.
Is that what sucks is that like that even took me. It takes some time, especially because it's the media. Like you can look and be like Amazon, fuck you, Walmart, fuck you. You can look and be like, you don't pay, but that's easier to digest. The media, because they exist in a realm of words and ideas and thoughts and forming those, that's a lot harder to convince someone that they are. it's like, Trump calls them fake news. I understand why he says that, but someone's just like, no. The best propaganda, people will not recognize as propaganda because it's that good.
Yeah, it's a cattle herd. It's
and
it's a cattle driver.
And then no one wants to recognize that they've
been
fooled by propaganda, because then they have to admit that they're fucking dumb or that they're easily duped, and no one wants to say that and they'll be embarrassed.
Well, and if media is supposed to, it's a code. It's not a law, but there's a media code that says when you screw up, you jack something up, you go down some path you shouldn't have gone down, you're supposed to issue an apology. So say a newspaper does it, it's buried on page 6,
and then a tenth of the people see the retraction.
They never see the retraction. They never see
if they even see it.
If they even see it. Same thing with news. When they fuck shit up, it'll be right at the end of the newscast. Oh, we said something, it wasn't correct, blah, blah, blah. All right, good night.
Ending, the credits are rolling.
And you're like...
And for generations, your Walter Cronkites of the world have... And, to me, like, I haven't, even ran across anything that says, oh, hey, they've been lying to you this whole time. Yeah, they can lie to you and all that shit. But, like, they have this decades-long track record of being trusted. Because I guess they generally were kind of okay because it was the pre-internet days. And, it was just like, oh, we're reporting on this, reporting on that, and you kind of got the truth.
Well, we opened with Newsroom, that clip from Newsroom, the HBO show. And the thing with that show was it was like an old school newsroom. That's the way it worked.
Okay.
And in the show, they even talk about the law of journalism is you're supposed to have 2 sources. That's what it used to be.
Oh, okay.
You're supposed to have
There's a bunch of other laws.
Different sources.
Yeah.
When Twitter started coming out and it became a race. 100% race / we gotta make our
be the first of the
advertisers look good / we gotta be number one.
And apparently
because
people have stopped caring about that.
When something happens, and we can all play this game, like let's say the weather gets bad and a dark cloud's coming, you want to see what's going to happen, so you turn it to Channel 5, they're not talking about it yet. You turn it to Channel 4, they're not working. You go to Channel 8, oh, they're working with it, and they're talking about the storm.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You're going to stick with that channel.
Oh, dude, to this day,
forever. You're going to sit there and watch that.
If I look up weather
cast.
shit, I don't know why, but in my head, I like WFAA. I don't know why.
So you're going to stick with whatever channel you find.
You're
go
not
to their
website.
Switch back the other.
I don't know what it is.
So the same thing happens with these big news companies. The first one to talk about it, and most of the time their sources is fucking Twitter, which we all know how fucked up Twitter is and how half the shit on there is wrong anyway. They will go to that and they'll say, Twitter's reporting, we got a crew on the way, blah, blah, blah. And they race out there because they want to be number one.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's the deal now. No one goes to a factual source for shit.
What was the year of
They
news?
just roll with it because they need to be number one.
That's not where the best and the biggest and the fastest money is at.
No.
I started noticing it during Obama. And I think it might have been when Newsroom was on. I think I really started noticing the media getting just manipulating the shit out of everything. Was the end of Bush and all through Obama's.
Okay.
Remember Fox? That's the thing that's so funny. Fox is acting like we're standing up for our president. Dude, let's rewind this motherfucker about 10, 12 years ago when Barack Obama was the president, and y'all were doing the same damn thing, just making up terrible shit about the man over and over and over. It was like, okay, wonder what Obama story we're going to hear today. Was he at the table with the devil? What was the Joker there now? Like, what did Obama do now?
That dilutes the real criticisms
worse
they could
and
have.
worse and worse and
the shit's like, and what sucks is, they did that. They were sucking Bush's dick for so long. And then, CNN, you had to go to CNN and MSNBC to get like, all right, so what's Bush and Cheney really doing and all their cronies? And then it's flipped during Obama. It's like, well, Fox could probably have some legit criticism about Obama, but you've already been tainted from the Bush years.
Exactly.
And then now CNN and MSNBC are sucking Obama's dick, and now 2016 came along, and now it's just kind of like a free-for-all, which I understand.
Yeah.
And now it's just kind of like, and now, like, to me,
I don't even know what the fuck is going on the news. I don't know who to watch. I don't know what channel to go to.
So I had a buddy that sent me a text on Sunday night.
And I'm talking big news, not local.
Yeah. I had a buddy that was like on Sunday night text me and was like, hey man, shit's going crazy up. He lives in Colorado. And he was like, Tom, man, fucking everybody's losing their mind. It appears like it's fucking getting weird. And I was like, yeah. I go, man, I've been trying to keep my eye on the ball, and just like basically what I do is focus on if I need to know something, I'll go to alternative sources such as podcasts, such as like I do not. The last thing that you need to be doing right now is getting your information for news, unless it's the weather, I guess. But if you're trying to find out about what's going on with politics and the nation and the country, go to some places, do some podcasting or something. Find some guys that are doing their homework and like. Just you got to be careful because there's the mainstream.
Well, you got the same
journalist
thing. You've got
is
right and left podcast too.
Yeah, and the thing is, here's why you know it's usually harmless. Well, I say that where it's not tainted by advertisements. If you find the right ones, they're doing their own either fundraising or advertisements or something. They're not relying on major corporate giants paying them this money to spit an agenda.
Yeah, because they want more listeners. They do like real reporting because they want to gain listeners and followers by doing the real shit,
right?
And then hopefully get a little bit more money from the sponsors they do have. And I'm like, I can trust that model because you're not fucking
Just it takes no time to research who is funding these channels, and most of the time, it's pharmaceutical companies,
insurance.
And insurance.
And I just can't respect any of my friends that post articles from the big three, CNN, MSNBC, and Fox. And I'm like, do you not know who their overlords are? And yet you believe. Now, here's the thing.
Well, wait. CNN is now owned by AT&T.
Oh, really?
And do we have Fox, too?
I found it hilarious when they were. I was like, oh, that's when I really. Well, when they were fucking rioting in front of CNN's headquarters, that's where I was just like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is really fucking cool. No, it's it's funny because they have it there. I think, probably other places they're like, yeah, we're on the top, we're on these 10 floors in the sky. You're not going to get us, assholes. You're going to have to bombard the whole fucking building. And that's when de Blasio might actually give a shit.
So what you like going back down the path that you originally pissed with is kind of the reason, like today, this morning, I finally had enough of some fucks on Facebook. I'm not going to list any names.
No. Will.
I'm getting close on Will.
I blame him for my assault.
But the last few days on Facebook, like I will log in to just look at something, or sometimes you have to go through the app to get to Messenger, Facebook Messenger, because I'm talking to people and stuff. And you'll just see like whatever's at the top of your feed, and it's just like, how the fuck do you guys believe this? Or why are you posting this? There's so many people that I would think in our scene that we know
that think for themselves.
Well, that
they claim to, but then they post a CNN article.
A couple of them claim to be journalists.
Oh God!
And write for prestigious papers in the area.
Yeah.
Some that maybe handle out awards that are hanging on the wall behind me up there.
We can say goodbye to that now.
We've got enough of them. Time to share the wealth.
I like going out there. Free booze, man.
So he, it's like I had to silence them because they were just posting bullshit, fake bullshit. Hey, can you get me one of those Weiss, the Berry Weiss? But it was just, it's aggravating. So I was just like, all right. Unfollow, because now you can unfollow people.
Oh no, I unfollowed a lot of people a long time ago.
You can unfollow them to where you're friends.
I keep them as friends.
Put you on follow. I hate that because you know how many girls probably think I'm a stalker now because I don't go through that and unfollow. Oh, next thing I know, I don't recognize anybody that's in my timeline. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
That was getting my problem.
Oh, like
the last couple days.
Go
this is
in
a great segue to something.
Yeah.
No, actually, the thing I was gonna post about that was 3 paragraphs into
though.
Plays into this. So I saw.
I didn't finish mine.
Oh, what is it? Go ahead. I'll remember.
Well, what I was getting, I was leading up with you, is that these people will see headlines, not read anything else, and post it, and then you start questioning them about the article. Like, well, did you really fucking read this and what it really says?
I've done that.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like I was bitching about earlier with the franchisee, and everybody's getting mad at the companies. You know, it's the same shit. It's like, hey, you need to kind of read this, and what you're spouting off and what you're saying is not right.
Oh, hell,
not true. And
sometimes the article even kind of contradicts its own headline if you read it, but it's like 8 paragraphs down.
That's
and you're
speed
like,
posting.
who
man.
the fuck approved this article?
Yeah.
when its whole premise is
It's a speed poster.
its whole premise is,
I see a talking point. I see a talking point. I see a talking point. I see a narrative. Bam! I'm gonna post it. They don't read the article.
Two different people unrelated to each other post the same thing. It's where basically you want to talk about some virtue signaling. It's you share this thing, this post, and if you click this link, you can find all of the people that you're friends with on Facebook that have liked, quote unquote,
like the analytics
Donald
and stuff,
Trump's Facebook page. And then what you're like, the post says, hey, like this will show you that so you can unfriend them. When I'm like, okay, so I was like, good God, okay.
I'm trying to think if I ever have liked a president's post.
Here's the thing. One, how do you even remember? This is how do you remember all the pages you followed?
Yeah.
And then okay, so I was just like, I'm gonna click this. So I clicked it, and I saw most of the people that I was friends with on, that I saw on this list hate Trump. And I was just kind of like, okay, because I know this person, I know them, and I've seen their posts. I know that they didn't, because Facebook, that's how you have to acknowledge that you
am following Trump.
And so,
you know what?
And so,
I'm unfollowing now.
No.
Boom. Did Facebook
unfollow?
No, because
I've had it with
so this is just on Facebook. So when you the post was saying, not just the link, but the post when you that was saying, hey, here's to find some people you can unfriend on Facebook. And I was just like, wait a second. Most of the people that I'm friends with that have liked this page hate Trump. Maybe,
how long have you been on Twitter?
Not that hold on. I was like, wait a second. I'm for goddamn sure that the people that I know that have liked, quote unquote, because that's how Facebook has it. It's not like, here's a page I want to follow and keep updated with. No, they probably like the page so they can see what this person that they fucking hate has done. And so you're supposed to automatically unfriend these people because they have liked Trump's Facebook page, regardless of actually how you actually know this person and their feelings towards Trump. You're supposed to immediately unfriend them because they have liked his Facebook page. And I was just like,
I haven't liked his Facebook page.
I know, I don't even realize his page. So you put the same logic towards Twitter.
It's proof.
So
don't be
I'm
trying to burn my house
apply
down.
that exact same logic towards Twitter.
Never liked. Oh, well,
which
I guess I could
actually you can just, if you like a page, you can go to Twitter and easily just be like, people you follow, who followed that. I'm like, so by that same logic, 95% of the comedians in the fucking world are Trump supporters because they follow, quote unquote, him on Twitter. I'm like, that is the most basic surface level thinking I'm like, which is the opposite of critical thinking, which nobody fucking has anymore. And so I'm like, if you take one more step into that, you're like, oh, hey, maybe I want to see what this fucking asshole posts. So this is how, even though on Facebook pages you can follow a page and not like it, but no one's thinking that except me.
How many times have you?
I want to read this before it goes off.
Oh no, yeah.
Go ahead, you can.
Because I'll lose it again. This was the New York Post. It goes right with what we said.
Yeah.
New York Post is supposed to be a trustworthy source.
No. They're a hilarious. New York Post is a hilarious source.
It's hilarious.
Those I follow them because I want to see what those front pages say.
So this was in their metro section right here. It says looters. This was June 1st. So when people went looting through New York.
My birthday. All right. Thank you guys. What'd you get
happy
me?
birthday.
Happy birthday. Looters swiped $2.4 million worth.
No, the looters. That's what I meant.
They swiped $2.4 million worth of watches from a Soho Rolex store. The very first sentence, right underneath that headline, says, the store spokesman said no watches of any kind were stolen, so there weren't any on display in the store. There were simple windows broken and some vitrines smashed.
What was the headline again?
Looter swiped $2.4 million worth of watches from the Soho Rolex store.
And they're like, no, not really.
No watches of any kind were stolen, as there weren't any on display in the store.
So
first sentence.
The first sentence.
That's the shit. You got to read there, and people will post this headline and just be like, can you believe this? Oh, my God. And they won't read the first sentence and that's what this was. This was someone on Facebook posting that, look what the looters did in New York City, and I copied it.
It said, no.
I didn't even say anything because
He was like, whatever, man.
I would have been blamed
Now,
because I
what
was
I'm
white.
curious is, like, how did... Now, I kind of want to read that article just to find out how they came to the conclusion of that fucking headline.
Who knows?
Maybe
It's all about.
So you didn't even read the
Right.
headline. You didn't
So,
read the
well,
article.
I think what you're saying, was there
No,
somewhere
it wasn't
in
that
the
long. It
article...
was about a brick. It just wasn't that.
You're
big a deal.
wondering, like, maybe in the article they were saying this is the headline that someone used, but in actuality, like, they were doing something like that, like irony or something with the headline.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Or it's
Question.
clickbait too.
Yeah, that's
no,
totally
don't worry about
clickbait is what it
clickbait.
is. So I got
But,
a question for y'all. This is
Here's
funny.
why these articles, like, to me, I realized this as a kid when, like, lying to my mom about what my intentions were. They weren't bad or anything, but this is what I realized what fucking mainstream media does. They dip. This is what I did as a kid. It's like it's kind of, basically it's like, oh, hey, I'm spending the night at so and so's when you're not because you're going out and doing this, but just to
I
cover
never
your
did that.
ass. Yeah, nobody ever did that. Yeah. I called that dipping your lie in truth because it came out a lot easier because there was some truth in what you were saying, but your intentions were nefarious. As in, I'm lying to my parents about what I'm really doing. I want to go to this party, but I'm gonna tell them that I'm spending the night at so and so's house because they trust them. But you're like, but in reality, you're going with that person to that party. You're just deceiving the people that take care of your life and all that. But I was just like, and I realized, oh shit, that's what the media does because there is propaganda. You can't just make up straight up everything. You can't just straight up lie and then you can be immediately discredited. No, like that's how good propaganda works. You dip the lie in some truth, and then through your wording, through your quote unquote journalism and your writing expertise, you craft it the way you want it to come off.
And if you get caught, you put a little sentence at the next article.
You apologize.
You apologize
the
a
next
little bit at the
day.
bottom.
Or it's also
That's not what there's like. I love seeing quotes and then a quote here and then words in between and then another quote and then reading the shit in between. You're like, that's not quoting what your source says, but it is implying a lot of shit that they did not apparently say, but you want people to think.
Or it's like you said earlier, you make it so far fetched and wild that people believe it.
Yeah,
it's one of those things. Like you either dip a little bit
or go all the way
of truth on that lie, or you just make it like what?
You can dip the lie in truth, or you can sprinkle.
One thing I love about
some truth
one
on
thing
the
I love
lie.
about No Agenda is every once in a while. Have you heard their whipsaw? They'll do. They call it the whipsaw.
The whipsaw's great.
And what will happen is the media will play. There'll be like some announcer going down the line of all these things that happen, like da 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 da.
Oh, and that's the whole, like they do for the nightly news shows.
They just go down the line and
they
they're
basically
ripping,
tell you the show.
Yeah, well, no, not that.
Okay, no, okay.
It's close to that, but it's a different thing. So they're doing that. They'll go through like let's say we'll be talking about relations with Iran, okay, and how let's say the president has fucked that up, okay, and they'll just go down this whole list of things that have like this big like avalanche of things and problems that's caused by this one thing that the president did, and then they'll play a clip. They'll play clips that are all pertinent to the article or the spot. But then all of a sudden they'll grab something that is from like not even within the like last 10 years of him like saying something stupid like the potato remark or something that what Dan Quayle said or something like that.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with anything at all in the article at all, but they'll just place it right there to put the icing on the cake that the president is a dumbass or vice versa.
Oh, okay.
And
So
usually the anchor behind the desk will then comment on that last little icing,
the last thing,
the whipsaw that they
and then
throw
give
in
his
there.
name.
Okay.
And then give his
So
name.
that way it's in your head that
that's true.
That's the last thing you heard. So that's the last
so
thing
it's
you
like
might remember.
it could be, and a lot of times the way they do it, I don't know if you specified this or not, but it'll be something like Trump did good, like he did something good. He actually did something good.
And then at the end they'll go.
And at the end they'll go, but you know, and they'll play this clip, and then
Of him saying something stupid like
Or,
real
you know,
chauvinistic, some shit he
being
said
an
like
a-hole.
20 years ago.
or
Yeah.
anything he said within the last week, and they'll
Last 10 minutes.
they'll just concentrate on that and totally skip over the good stuff.
Yeah.
Like
that's
the
been
thing,
said.
there's a thing about like when Trump was talking about George Floyd and how it's like they praised the thing and like how apparently George Floyd would be happy that it was like a good day for the market. And I was just kind of like, that's
Jobs.
crazy. I'm going to go watch this clip. And I watched the clip that they quoted from, and Trump didn't say anything about the market. It was basically about him. It was about George Floyd. And I was just kind of like, how did they? And part of me was just like, I'm not going to watch this entire speech. Yeah. But the part of what they quoted did not match up to what they said that his overall message was. I was just like,
one of the things
taking things out of context and stuff.
But I'm like, stop.
They'll
like,
cut shit how they want.
Yeah.
It's genius editing, and it all comes from reality TV
it's like,
editing is what it is.
No agenda. They did this like these people.
Editing is the evil force that's fucking pushing this thing.
It's just like
you
reality
can control
TV.
a narrative.
You can make anybody look like a dumbass or a complete
exactly
asshole
right.
on these shows just by the way you edit them, even though they may be the smartest or nicest person ever.
Right, that's right.
Like, No Agenda did this thing where they're like, we're gonna fact check Trump, and like everything they were saying, I was just kind of. It was either like an opinion, which you can't fact check.
Yeah,
and it was like I think one of the first couple of things was like Trump saying we've done the most testing, and then like their fact check was, well, we haven't done the most testing per capita. When I'm like, he didn't say per capita, but you're saying he's wrong because it
doesn't fit in this frame.
You've completely
it's a play on it's semantics. Everybody's using semantics and context and just editing
exactly
the
it's
shit
context.
out of it.
You can see like we have the greatest number of this, and you could be like, well, you don't have the greatest number of this per capita, and then I can come back and say I didn't say fucking per capita, and that's exactly. I'm like
that shit they started doing at the end of Obama, midway in the end of Obama. You started seeing it with stuff Obama said.
Dude, I was
to make him be a Muslim all of a sudden.
Here's the thing about me: I was so checked out.
Shit. They were always doing that shit.
I was so checked out from politics for so long. Like, it was...
Well, I heard it all on No Agenda.
2008, I was like, hey...
No, I remember it. I remember it happening.
2008, I was like, hey, who's this Ron Paul guy? Yeah. And I was just like, hey, here's this crusty old white dude that's talking all this freedom shit and, like, saying the drug war's fucking stupid. And I was just like, oh, hey, what's up? And, he's a libertarian. And I was just like, he's a libertarian. But I think, Ron Paul is the only Republican who can ever say anything about a woman's reproductive system because he's an OBGYN.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, a lot of people forget that. And I'm like,
he looks like one too. It's just a creeper. Fucker.
Well, he's got, go after him.
He also got
you're not going to find anything.
Front yard.
No, that's Rand Paul.
Oh.
He has a son called Rand Paul. If you think about shit.
Fake news. Rand Paul.
Fake news. You got a fake news co-host
Rand Paul was the one that got beat up.
Ron Paul is the guy that has the most consistent message.
He's the one that
Congress.
what's his face pissed off in the hotel room. High five.
Oh yeah.
What's it, Sasha?
Yeah, he got hoodwinked by Sasha.
It was funny. He kept acting like he was looking at newspapers and like magazines because he was so uncomfortable and awkward.
Then again, what has Sacha Baron Cohen ever done for women's health? Nothing. Because he's not an OBGYN, and I think a lot. I still
like building your own narrative over here.
No, just because I like Ron Paul. Because I'm just like, here's like to me the enemy my whole life is these old white dudes like Biden and Trump and Sanders just saying the same shit for the longest fucking time. And I understand why Bernie resonated. I get that, but he's also been in Congress for so fucking long. And he fucking skipped out on a recent vote about the FISA applications, so Bernie can go fuck himself for not showing up.
Yeah.
But Ron Paul, to me, I'm like, one, he was in Congress, not a senator. That's 6-year term. He got all these consecutive two-year terms.
Yeah.
By being a veteran, an OBGYN, and an advocate for freedom for everybody. And I was just kind of like, oh, that's awesome. But I was like, oh, Obama's okay because he sounds nice.
I got some shtick, man. Let's go to some restaurant somewhere. No, we need to go to a place where they would throw them off, but then they'd get it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Twin Peaks?
Yeah, you go to a restaurant, you could screw with them and they'd never get it.
And all night long, every time we go to the bar, when we're allowed to go to the bar again, we go, and once again, I am here to ask from you another beer. Just all three of us to see how long. We make that whole Bernie speech asking for money.
I don't get how people understood how Bernie...
Till one of the bartenders gets the joke.
I don't need your blankets.
People,
I just
so
need
many
your beer.
people I know and
just do
kind of
random president
respect
quotes.
fell for Bernie's shit
Don't
so
send us your
hard
cash. Don't send us your
because he
blankets.
sounded. I'm like, you realize
Just send us your cash.
most people realize, oh, he doesn't sound like a politician. He sounds like a politician. Whatever, fuck you. And that's what's
You're
funny.
talking about Bernie.
That's what's funny about Trump is how people they hate him for so many reasons. But I'm just like,
Yeah.
wait a second. Like a lot of people say that they hate how politicians sound like
You know what
politicians.
sucked about Bernie,
You hate-
man?
but also
I
Bernie-
liked him, but
he
it just
sound-
always looked like he needed a breath mint and a fucking IV. You know, like
something.
You know what I mean?
It was very
Like
odd
at any moment
and
he's gonna
shocking.
collapse. I'm like,
I thought he was.
could you find my nitroglycerin?
I thought he was at
It
the
fell
Fort Worth
over
rally.
there. Once again, I'm asking you.
Because it was hot that day. But I was standing backstage at a Bernie rally when he came in, and I saw probably a dozen or so 30-year-old females immediately go sploosh.
Good lord.
When they
They
saw
freaked
him?
out like it was the Beatles and they were ready to mate.
I thought
Yeah, there's
30
some,
it
plus
was
year
crazy.
politicians in the Washington system were the fucking problem, and then Bernie comes along and then sploosh.
These young girls are
Like-
all, half his
And
age.
he's from
are
Vermont.
Just like, they love
That's
him.
not
Dude,
accomplishing
I don't
anything.
understand
It's
what.
so-
see,
it was
that's the
so
thing.
You're
wild.
a Democrat
I was like,
from
what
Vermont
just
that's
happened?
like, I'm an independent now. Nobody gives a shit.
The thing
You're in
that's so
Vermont.
fucking
That's
wild-
not heroic.
The thing that is so weird is why the fuck did the pack, like the bigwigs of the fucking Democratic Party, that party, the Democrat Party, why the fuck did they kick him to the curb so quick? Like out of the gates, it became a thing between him and Biden pretty much. It always was, but it really became defined. It's going to be Biden against Bernie. And then all of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, Bernie's like,
Because Bernie's too radical.
I'm out.
Bernie's too radical for their
That's
motives.
the thing that's really sad. A lot of
and
these
their-
millennials that are talking about change.
Well, that's
and
why it
voting and stuff,
resonated. I completely get
they
that.
have
I'm
no one
not-
to pick this time.
I don't want to demonize people that agreed and liked Bernie because I'm like, I get it. He said a lot of things that a lot of politicians just never say, and especially at the level that
Yeah.
he got. But and this is why this is why I think Trump's going to win in November, because it's like a lot of those people are just kind of like, here's a guy we got to believe in. Bernie was saying all this shit, but then. I think a lot of people that were Bernie supporters are realizing how the DNC fucked him.
Yeah.
They
Fucks
fucked
everyone.
him good and hard, and
Yeah,
they're like,
fuck
no,
everyone.
we're not letting someone like that be the front running ticket.
That's why they ditched Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard was their best chance. If they would have put her up there
I
and
think
let her
she's too
run.
young and too unknown.
But check this out. They were so afraid that she was going to rip up Kamala Harris when it came down to it. That she didn't get any funding or any, like, got no help at all. and
Because the Democrats don't want
it's
actual
Republicans
change.
too. They do the same shit.
That's their message. They don't ever back it up, and that's what that's what a lot of people. That's one thing that's very exciting is a lot of people are realizing how the Democrats have been fucking lying to them for so goddamn long, saying the right things but never doing the right thing or never doing the things they said they're going to do.
It's all politicians,
As
man.
shit as the Republicans are, to their credit, they never promised like various minority groups all these things. The Republicans are just like, we're about this, vote for us or not. And that was the case up until 2016. Now it's all a fucking crapshoot. But at least to the Republicans'
warning.
credit, they have always been about the
4-minute
same.
warning.
They've always been
Yeah.
about the same thing.
Till I change the subject.
Oh, I'm about to
Completely
change it right
Change
now.
it now. Yeah,
but
yeah,
but but this is still dark. Are you about to go to something funny?
yeah.
Yeah, go to dark.
Okay. So, what do you guys think's gonna happen? Did you guys see the video of the protest in LA? Like the drone video of how
Yeah.
many people were there and all
Yeah.
just giving the bird to COVID?
Yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen in 2 weeks? You
Well-
think we're about to see a huge ass spike like Arizona's already starting to have again?
Tarrant and Dallas County are already
Still spiking.
Dallas County every day last week was a new record.
You're racist if you say
Well,
that.
they said that this little spike that we had the last couple of weeks has been because of Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm.
But now you got the whole fucking country, every major
Everybody's
metropolis
wearing a mask.
Also, cases.
getting sprayed with
you're
tear
saying-
gas spray, with tears and hurl and spit going everywhere.
But also, okay, here's the thing. When people say cases, I think like that's what
This
also
is the
sucks.
scary thing.
With the COVID thing, there are cases, which is everybody, but then there's they're asymptomatic, so the people that never know that they ever have it or never care. Then there's the people, who have symptoms, but it's not going to be anything worth doing anything about. And then there's the people that go to the hospital, maybe get some treatment. There's going to be hospitalizations. They have to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one thing when I hate when people say, "Oh, the cases went up." I'm just like, there are so many varying degrees of what cases constitute.
I have another prong.
Yeah.
Don't get hung up on that part. But the secondly,
too late, already did. Anyway.
Well, check this out though. Secondly, what the fuck happens if in a month there's no new cases? Then people start saying, wait a second.
We want heads to roll.
Well, we fucking just fucking with us for a little bit? Like, was this all horse shit? And then everybody's going to start fucking freaking out right before the elections.
That reason right there is why I think we're in the situation we are now. I think that, along with the video of the death of George Floyd, I think people were already starting to think that and were getting pissed off and getting hot-headed and finally just like, fuck it, I'm going out and we're going nuts.
You can't protest about the COVID thing, but they're like, and the thing is, I completely get the message behind the George Floyd thing, but also they've been seeing that it was kind of breaking of how the seriousness of it was dying and not enough, like I said earlier.
Serious of COVID.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, like this not to be... I hate to even say this shit. I'm like, not to be no, fuck that. Not enough people were dying from COVID for people to start taking it seriously. Hence the divide of states opening up and states staying down. The same in both. We all started to realize, most people don't die from this, and if they are going to die, chances are they're in a nursing home where they're already dying.
What do you think's going to happen?
I don't know.
Because state of Arizona is on the verge of calling a state emergency again. So there's been they said this little spike that we saw was from Memorial Day, they think, the last week or so.
Now is it just from cases
and deaths?
And deaths? I mean,
2 weeks, or was it last week we had a record of 16 deaths in Dallas County, wasn't it?
Every single case is so unique.
But
of like when they got it, when they experienced how bad are the symptoms, when they're in the hospital, or
I got a coworker that's down right now.
I think there's gonna be a spike. I think there's going to be a huge spike, and it's about to freak everybody the fuck out.
I think
that's what I think.
If the protest and these movements don't die down, then that spike won't be talked about on the news. The news is going to roll with this as long as they can.
Don't you think at some point that it's going to it's going to get out there? If we start having, if DFW started having deaths like New York. You think so? If we got to the point where we were like New York,
I don't think.
Our death,
do you think the country will ever be shut down again? Because I'm starting to think that will never happen again.
I don't think they're not going to be able to do that again because it's like, show us bodies in the street and we'll do it. But
I think too many people will be like, "Fuck you." Nothing happened last time I did it. We've been through worse.
But the thing is so weird is that because of the thing is though. You got to think about it both ways for that person to think like that, to go, we'll never do that again, right? Because that'll never happen again. But you have to think that the reason why we don't have deaths like in the past 1.2 million to, 2 million, they said, is because of the precautions that the country took. You can look at it from both sides. If we didn't do anything and we just started making sure we washed our hands longer and made a funny jingle for PSAs, and that was it, would we have been over 1 million deaths? Or did what exactly we do work the way it was supposed to, and we saved a lot of lives by shutting everything down for that certain amount of time? And if that's the case, what do you weigh more then? The financial stability of your country or the actual health of your citizens?
You're going to have the good old boys that are like, I'm not doing this again. You're not keeping me from my places, and I'm not shutting down my business. Bar. Yeah. I'm not doing this all again. They can try to shut me down. It'll be like that Carol lady over there in Dallas.
It's some serious stuff, man.
You're going to have people opening up their businesses
that's the thing.
While strapped.
Dude, how close? I think this has been building since the hanging Chad, Al Gore, George W. When that happened, I was like, No, I'm serious.
You think that's the
I
butterfly
thought that
wings?
I thought that was the very beginning.
Led us here?
I did. You can ask. You could ask my parents.
That's fucking genius.
It's because
start there. How I want to hear.
I thought
bridge
that
all this
I go
down.
what you're watching right now and the divide in the country and how one county saying this and now all the politics and the partisan like
that
people
that
the
did
partisanship.
that did go down to one county, right?
I said this is the beginning of a civil war. The Republicans and Democrats are obviously to a point where they are never going to agree on anything ever again.
Yeah, because of that.
And I said it, and I told my parents, I was like, this is going to continue to escalate, and then 9/11 happened. 9/11 just threw gas on the fire.
Yeah.
Like when that happened, then that just fucking ignited Democrats versus Republicans and Republicans versus Democrats about everything.
George, or so much Bush hate right after 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him standing here in this classroom with these elementary kids not knowing what to do. Look how dumb he looks. He just found out the country is under attack and that an airplane is smashing the World Trade Center.
To me,
what are you going to respond with? Like
now, I've always had the conspiracy angle of that shit, but
I'd have been like, "What the fuck?"
No. Here's the thing.
I'd have thrown my headset down.
With Bush being told that, why don't you immediately? No, here's the thing. With the whole, this is why I'm like, man, I think something's up here. When I got into conspiracy side of 9/11, because
we can spend 3 hours.
on
the conspiracy.
But okay,
of
with that thing in particular, I'm like, if they walk over to you and say, it's like, hey, a plane just flew into one of the Twin Towers. Why don't you? Okay, you're in a classroom of kids who are going to eventually learn about what the fuck 9/11 was, and that the fucking president was in their classroom that day.
That's where they were sitting when it happened.
Here's the thing. It's like they come over, Secret Service tells you that in your ear. You immediately, I can't remember if the teacher was reading or if he was reading. You immediately cut her off. You're like,
he had a kid on his lap, didn't he?
Everyone? No, he didn't have a kid on his lap.
I thought he did.
No. I've seen that video plenty of times.
They were all
you immediately stand up and be like, I am sorry. And he goes,
that's what he did, didn't he?
No. Like, there's a counter that people are just like, he sat there for X amount of minutes and seconds.
Yeah.
So I thought he actually left, came back, and then said that the country's been attacked.
He didn't. No, he
whispered
sat there
in his
looking
ear,
around like, what do I do?
If what he should have done if he wasn't involved,
Fear
quote
boner.
unquote, he should have gotten up and said, everyone, I am sorry. There's a very pressing, matter for the country I have to tend to right now. I will come back at a certain date and time. And you fucking leave, and then the teacher and the teacher, she's gonna find out very quickly what's going on, and maybe she tells the kids, but the kids aren't going to be damaged by that. Growing up, and then so you immediately get up and say, "Oh, like no one's going to be butthurt that the president."
Yeah.
Bounced on the reading of the goat story,
but you also don't know.
You
don't know.
You immediately, if you're president, you immediately get up and leave with the Secret Service.
But
immediately,
you don't know what is going through his head right there. Like, who do I talk to first? Who do I contact first? What the hell is this going on? Because there's never been an attack on U.S. soil.
Yeah, I don't think he was thinking about what's rude and
You immediately
what's
leave
not.
with the Secret Service and go where they tell you to go, because that's what the Secret Service is there for.
But to say that he was just he was trying to play lip service and not be rude, I don't think that's what happened. I think it's more like Dustin was saying. He's just going, "What the fuck do I do now?"
Has it ever come out what the Secret Service agent said to him?
I don't think so.
I mean, what if the Secret
probably
the Secret Service
some
said,
code word that's like
what they've said.
This is going down. And he gave him a
we'll
code
probably
word,
never know.
But he's supposed to sit there as they're prepping the vehicles to get the hell out of there.
I mean, I never saw anything that said that was debunking.
What did they say the time period was? The time frame?
Like right when that happened.
No, I mean the length of time that you are saying.
It's just a couple of minutes.
Like a few minutes too long.
So they're not saying that there's footage that's not available, that there's a gap or anything, kind of like they're saying with the conspiracy theories about
everything I've seen. It says like when that guy walks over and whispers into his ear, that's when they're telling him
like
about
2
it.
minutes.
I mean, I'm like, I guess.
I agree with. I think it's what Dustin was saying. It's
I mean,
the guy's just going.
I
What
think
the
you
fuck am I
immediately
sitting
get
there
up
doing?
and be like, "I'm sorry, I have to go right now." Like they will know why you got up and left. You're not damaging these kids and that teacher by dealing with 9/11.
But I don't think he was concerned about that. I think he was totally like Dustin was saying, just sitting there going, "All right, I need to talk to this person. Where do I get up here? We're going there."
You
like
figure that out along the way. You're not going to get
that was
everybody
his
on
little
the phone
calm
right then
before
and
the
there.
storm of
The
thought.
other argument is they have a ton of code words that they tell the president, he may not have come straight up to him and said, "Hey, an airplane's hit the World Trade Center." He may have give him a code
like
word,
DEFCON 7 or whatever,
or something. And like I said, they had to prep shit. He couldn't just get up and bolt out.
Well, that's what they're there for. Is they have to prepare for every scenario of getting the fuck out of wherever they're at
now
any
if
time.
it was an
You're
imminent
also
threat,
on a-
though,
That's what
you're-
the Secret Service is there for.
But you're also in a time where there wasn't a threat. He's at a school. He's not going to have a full
Where was the school at,
entourage
anyway?
with him. I don't remember.
Might have been in D.C., I think.
I thought he had to fly a good distance to get back.
Maybe. I don't
Like it was in Nebraska or some shit like that, wasn't it?
I thought they immediately took him to
They
Marine
flew,
One and
and
took
then
him
just
to
flew
Air
him
Force
around.
One and took him off.
Didn't
Probably.
wasn't that when
'Cause
he
they brought the
didn't he just
helicopter
fly
in, and that
around
could
for
have been
like
the
a
other
whole
thing.
day?
They may have brought the helicopter straight to that school so he gets straight on it and gets
They
the hell
probably
out of there.
did. Didn't they also? Didn't they just fly around for like 12 hours straight too? And like they'd land in a secret location and then take back off for like 12 hours, wasn't it?
They got refueled in air.
Oh yeah, I know, but I thought they wanted him to make an appearance or something, or they wanted him to make a public
With Kanye,
something.
I think, because George Bush doesn't like black people.
Okay. So you were saying
Well, I'm
like
making this
9/11
up.
happened, and then you kept seeing the divide.
Yeah, well, that was
Widen.
it. That was it. I was just like, dude, there's no way. There's such a big disagreement. You could tell that they weren't listening to what they were saying, and they weren't listening to what they were saying, because you could listen to both sides of the argument, but they weren't. They weren't listening to anything.
Yeah.
They were just, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. And there was like, dude, y'all get this shit together. And you could just tell from that point on, things were only going to get worse. And like I said, right around then was 9/11. And then when 9/11 happened, it was all bets off. They didn't play politics with it for a week.
Well,
After about a week, all
out
of a
of
sudden,
respect,
out of
and
respect.
everybody trying to
Yeah.
figure out what the hell was going on.
Yeah. Once everybody got their
Because
services
his
and stuff,
approval
then it
rating
was-
shot up, and everyone's just like, all right, because I'll give it like maybe a couple of months of just kind of like, all right, 9/11 happened. Let's have the nation heal. No one fight with each other for a little bit.
I think it was shorter than that, man. I think it was closer to like a week, and they were
Really?
starting to point the finger. They're like saying that there had been a brief.
The
Remember the
parties,
first thing
yeah.
that came out said that Bush had been briefed about all of Al Qaeda.
No, the
and their-
presidential
the
daily briefing thing.
Yeah, that he knew about how close
Let's
they
not
were to
forget
doing this
about-
attack. Democrats started saying that immediately.
Let's not forget
Yeah.
about Bill Cooper. Back in July of 2001.
And then you all,
He
if
predicted
I remember
that shit.
right too, everybody was like fucking, like the Warhawks came out big time. Like all the Republicans were, attack immediately.
We gotta
We've
go.
gotta
we
go
gotta
now.
get revenge. And
It's
that's
time
part
to
of
make
why we rolled
glass
into Iraq.
of the Middle East. And like it was immediately, now all of a sudden it's the Warhawks against the
You gotta
the,
go finish what your daddy didn't.
the Democrats who were already pissed because they felt like George Bush had known about it for a while.
They also flew out immediately Bin Laden's family that was
Yeah.
in the country. Flew him out, all his family out immediately. I think he was just I don't think he's dead. And I think he was just a puppet during the whole thing, just like the Mandarin was in Iron Man 3.
Now, the CNN got an interview with him. And that's what Bill Cooper pointed out in July of 2001.
So
He
what do you
was
guys
just
think
like- I'm
about?
like,
Okay,
what
we'll stay on this horse shit for one more
Well,
little
Hillary
bit of
did.
time.
Well,
Okay,
we're getting close to time, and I have a good.
yeah, we are.
I want
man.
to. I
This
want to
show's
talk to y'all
flown.
about. But yeah, this has been fun.
So, what do you think about this crazy ass theory that this is all watch the dog on the medical front and the protest front that's been set up by people to take attention away from the trials and
These
all
are
the
some
people
of
that
the
have
people
gotten
I had to
called into
silence.
court.
Yeah, I-
Called
my
into
Facebook
court.
feed.
I don't
called
think
into court for.
I don't think
Obama's.
something this
Like
elaborate
his,
is planned to distract from court hearings. To me, that's just I'm like because the internet exists.
Yeah,
It
you can
goes
still
back
go
to-
look up those news
You're,
stories.
you're able to look at both in the same scroll. You're like, oh, that happened. Oh, Hillary's back in court. I'm like, to plan something so elaborate.
Yeah,
to
that
distract-
would be wild.
When you can find out, you can
If-
read about both things in the span of minutes to a
Yeah.
half an hour to an hour of how much time you devote to informing yourselves about whatever. That's to me is just like it's a distraction from this. I'm just like,
well, are you
people are
closer
able to pay
believing that?
attention to say what?
Are you closer to believing that, or are you
No.
believing the asteroids heading in and they want everybody to stay in place?
No, that April 29th it was supposed to, or right at the end of April was supposed to be a big old asteroid.
And
was
it
that
passed us. Yeah, it went
Motherfucker.
right by us.
That was supposed to be
Tools
like
like,
the
damn
one.
it.
And I was like, with that, like, okay, I got really scared at
Aerosmith,
when
they're
I
pissed
remembered that when I remembered that was supposed to be a thing. I was just like, oh man, could this be? I was like, Man, I think I think there'd be some breakaway scientists that would just
Bruce
be
Willis.
like, "We're fine." Like
Bruce
I think
Willis is pissed. He's like,
there
will
would
be.
be whistleblowers out the asshole if that were true, which I think would be
Ben
like unless
Affleck's
that was
pissed off,
top
too.
level,
He's like, "Fuck."
delete any one of credibility saying anything about an asteroid coming because then they create panic. But I'm like.
But then
If an asteroid's coming,
Jeff
I don't see
Goldblum's
why
he's
they would
pissed off.
have
Oh, no,
a
that's
sign
Independence Day,
up
isn't
to
it?
prevent the panic because it'd just be like, well, if an asteroid's coming to kill us all, who gives a shit? You guys do whatever. We're going to hang out in a bunker.
those scientists
And
that broke
that's-
off and told everybody, though, would be like the
They'd be killed.
well, they'd be like the couple of dozen scientists that are like, these computer models on global warming aren't 100% right.
Yeah.
And we're not 100% sure that this is really going to happen, but all those others are running off these models that the computer spit out, and the computer spits out like 54 models.
Maybe
every
this is
couple of
just
days,
some
so-
big fucking
No,
ploy
the distraction
for
theory to me
universal
is-
income. Because think about it. You know what's coming next. Our air quality has gotten so much better.
Oh yeah, that is coming. It already has.
So-
People are already talking about that.
So the only way we're going to be able to do that is if we all make the same amount of
See how
money and have
dirty the
universal
sky was today?
income. And then we can just stay inside and have a virtual world.
I
Whatever.
guess too cheap.
Matrix,
You
dude.
could drive around and
I already got an Oculus in there. We can go.
they
up
would
there.
need something really fucking scary to keep us inside. Because I go for walks every day. I'm not afraid of going outside.
Dude, we were damn close, man. Las Colinas, there was a couple of weeks where you didn't see. You saw a jogger here and there, but for like 2
Yeah.
weeks, man,
But
nobody
going
was fucking
outside
going
by
outside.
yourself is completely 100%
It's
healthy
okay.
to do.
Oh, I know.
And anyone that thought that they were going outside does not deserve to really be a functioning human being because that's not how
Humans are-
diseases work. You can't just go outside and pick up a disease because if that's how it worked,
Eat it.
we wouldn't be here to complain about it and to even think about it because we would have been eaten by disease a long time ago. It's just not how it works. Like we would have, nature would have taken us out a long time ago if diseases were,
So
like
you
I
don't
said last time I was here.
You don't think McDonald's was embarrassed about the documentary that came out about them, the McMillions, and started putting little particles of COVID-19 in their cheeseburgers?
What? No.
Wow, that's a crazy conspiracy right there. Holy shit!
Be here
But
all
you
day.
have zero even fun
Boom.
evidence.
That's
to
like a
back that
boom.
up.
that's like a movie script.
Boom.
I can entertain a
Boom.
lot of conspiracy
Boom.
theories until you can't back it up by really anything.
All right, change the topic
Okay.
before we leave because it's getting late. Because I did want to talk about. Have you watched the stuff that's going on with the Hot Box Biscuit Company on Maine?
No, I've never even seen it open because I guess they close at 3 every day.
Yeah, you
and
need to go on
Strip club?
Facebook. They are getting
No.
destroyed.
For
what?
what?
They seem to have a
They
few
said the
items
wrong
on
thing.
their menu that are named after African American celebrities. And
Oh, kind of like didn't Twisted Root? Or they called their name for holding, like if you're waiting.
no.
holding.
This was on the menu. Like the meal is called the Notorious PIG.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay.
And
That's
st-
one
stuff
letter
like that.
from an already established
Yeah.
artist's name.
So anyway, there's a bunch on there. Well, they
I
got
guess you
flamed.
and Seth and I couldn't open up our restaurant.
No. Don't even talk about that. So they got a lady went to them and asked them, what are they doing locally for these marches and these protests? How are they showing their support for the people? And
They better been giving out
went,
some biscuits.
They went and looked through their social media feed and said they haven't said anything in their social media
Did they
feed
counter
about
with, hey,
BLM.
we haven't been able to be open as a business for what?
So it turned into a shit show
Really?
to where
Also,
they got
Facebook's
shafted.
algorithm is so shitty. I don't even really get what's going. I can't get updated on what's happening because I refresh and it gives me the same thing from 5 days ago. So
Well, that's why I started silencing a bunch of people today, so
yeah.
that way I get to my friends and see what they're doing again.
okay.
So have they
But
had
anyway.
anything done to their storefront or anything?
No,
Like
the
people throwing
protests
rocks
have
and
gone
shit?
by there, and they've had a lot of shit said about them on social media. The Fort Worth Weekly even wrote an article about it.
Damn.
Um,
Did they have any plates named after white people that are, or were the,
Yes, it's all fun and games. It's a play on words of different celebrities all through their menu. And it's pretty wild, but yeah, they. My question with all this, like, after seeing this, is can a company recover ever
right now, I would say it'd be a
With this
long
going on,
road. Like Denny's is still trying to.
And they got this hot box biscuit place got
Papa John's,
shitty.
Papa John's Pizza.
Yeah, that's true.
They're just now starting to try to claw back into things
Yeah.
with Shaq, and that advertising campaign scared the fuck out of me.
The dog.
But
that's true.
I think you're at the if something happens right now, I think it would take a little bit longer than it would old what was it, Papa John's or Denny's.
Well, you're a mom and pop company down here. You're not Papa John's that's got money rolling in. You're a local one shop place.
That's what this was.
That's what this is.
What was the name
there.
of it again?
The hot box biscuit.
Man, that sounds good, man.
You know where that speakeasy was we went to that night?
Do they customize the biscuits like you can get cheese and stuff,
you can get
whatever,
get
it all
grits
loaded
on 'em,
up?
whatever. Yeah,
I think
it's
I
good.
have been to one.
But you know where that speakeasy was we went that night?
Yeah.
In that bar? It's that same shopping center on the opposite side. But it was, whatever they did, they were kind of shitty with their response to people that were questioning them and asking them that. They didn't take the correct social media response. They took my social media response. Like if we ran the burger joint, you would want me to run it because I'd just be like, shut the fuck up, asshole. I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm. They did that.
They kind of went down that path. They had shitty responses, but it was like, I just wondered, like, they started cleaning up their act and, being appropriate. A little more sympathetic.
Empathy, guys.
And it was one of those things like, okay, can a company, a mom and pop company that just didn't want to get involved with something that are all of a sudden thrown
not to get involved
into something.
I don't see how they really have I don't think
the
they
big
can
argument
really
is
help.
The big argument is that they're appropriating black culture through their menu, what they call things on the menu. And that was the argument.
If nobody gave a shit before the protest, then you should not give a shit now.
Were the items?
I've never seen
were
the
the
menu 'cause
items?
they're always
okay,
closed.
here's my question. Then. The items that were listed that were listed with names that sound like black families and black people. Was that
celebrities?
Black celebrities?
Yeah.
Was that was it soul food type stuff? Because then I would have a problem with it. Then I do have a problem with it.
No,
because
I've looked at their menu before. It's just
not
like biscuits with like whatever meat inside, and then
so there's not going to be something that would be related that you could see like on a soul food plate that they were calling the black characters names on the food, right?
I wouldn't think like when I
if that's the case, then I do have a problem with that.
I remember back in January, I had Dave Stone coming through at Mass, and he was from Georgia, lives in LA now.
I'm saying though, right?
And he's a food guy. He reports recipes, and he has a joke about biscuits. And I looked at the biscuit place, and I was like, oh, they close at 3, so he's not even going to be here when they're open. But I looked at their menu, and nothing like jumped out at me. And I was just like, I don't know why people want to hear from businesses now. Like, what's your stance on this thing? I'm like, they're a business. If they just make food. Now, if they want to, come out and support, or even come out and, fucking firebomb their own business by being against it. Hey, it's your prerogative, whatever. And if you want to destroy your company, go ahead. Or I don't know why people are even looking towards any businesses.
Tiger King casserole.
It's because
I'm gonna name off things on their menu.
Because Brian, it's because everybody is into projecting their agendas and their narratives because of anger. If they would sit and think about things a little bit longer before they got so angry and wanted to rip someone down, tear someone down.
The big boy.
Like that's why people go to Twitter right now. No. People go to Twitter right now just to rip people down. They're not on there trying to help anybody out. There's nobody on there trying to help people out.
You hear about Terry Crews?
Oh, Ted Cruz?
No, Terry Crews.
No,
Gin and juice.
Yeah, Terry Crews is like under fire.
Terry Crews, the Old Spice guy in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yeah, I love him.
No,
awesome. I can't love him anymore.
Here's what sucks about Twitter's like trending things is like something's trending, but good fucking luck finding out why. Or where the genesis and origination of that was.
If there was any comedy in here.
No, that's the thing is like, this is trending. And it's like, there is no why is this trending thing. It's like everyone commenting on that it is trending. Like, and so
I think Twitter's about to lose a lot of popularity.
Twitter's fucking dumb as shit. But But
think people are
Terry
about to be done
Crews
with
is
it.
under fire on Twitter because I don't know. It was somebody, one of the many various accounts I follow, people I don't know that are much bigger than me. Like somebody retweeted it, and it's like him talking about black supremacy, not him being for it. I think his original thing was just like, if you want to, he's like, you can't fight white supremacy by separating white and black people or something. It's like, if you want to fight white, because then that will actually separating white and black people, that will also create black supremacy, and we can't fight white supremacy without working together, white and black people. I get his message, but he had like he had a few tweets about that, and then like some replies. What?
He's creeping. We got a MiG.
Okay.
All right.
But like
we're always in an air assault with these guys, these
We
these
are,
yellow
this
jackets.
time of year.
We've had
Yellow
some people
jackets
taken
coming
out
in.
by it.
Okay, I need
I
to
don't
get into
see it,
something
but-
before we leave.
Okay.
One thing I have been asked,
Oh, I see.
we can't wear Hawaiian shirts anymore because that's now a sign of white supremacy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have someone's gonna have to. You got to explain this one to me.
Oh, that one's okay.
No, that's not. That one's a bad one.
No, he's good. He's all right. He's too
I
young.
don't know, man.
He's not yellow.
I still got
He
stingers.
cares more about the light than he cares about
Yeah,
you. man.
we're fine. Well, supposedly the guys
I've taken 3 to the chest, homie.
that are the boogaloo of eggs.
No, of yellow jackets. When the high school was in here.
Oh,
Remember?
oh yeah. The boogaloo.
Boogaloo.
You know what's crazy
Yeah, fuck
is
is
of
the
all the
Boogaloo?
crazy shit that I know about, I did not know about the Boogaloo Boys until
The
like a
Boogaloo
couple of
Boys.
days ago.
What is this? Electric 2, the Boogaloos?
No, these are the
Electric
guys.
Boogaloo.
These are your cost patriots. The guys.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
The guys that showed up at the bar and protected
Yeah.
it. It's those people.
The meal team.
Yeah, Meal Team 6.
Are these
Yeah,
like
yeah.
ultra libertarians or something like that?
No, they're far right. The Boogaloo's far
Well,
right.
you can call
because-
libertarian far right if you want, but I mean,
Yeah,
libertarian and right just kind of they diverge when it
guess so.
comes to like nationalism and anti-government and shit. Because people say far
I guess
right,
so.
there's an implication of like they
They could
think the
fall into
government, as long as the government does what we want, that's cool. The libertarian is the government's always the enemy to a degree, and then anarchists, oddly enough, come around to communism as well because
Yes.
they can.
Because
they
that's what you
think-
were, right?
What's that?
You were
Libertarian anarchist?
oh yeah, but it also said you dabbled in communism.
Which doesn't make any
Oh,
fucking
shit,
sense.
man.
Because a lot of communists think once we get
Who
complete
knows?
communist
My
control,
name
then anarchism
is Matrid.
is our reward
I
at
am
the end or
Matrid.
some shit like
Son
that.
of Matrid.
So this wasn't my big argument. It was just like I was wearing this shirt because
swooping down on you, man.
I'm not worried about it.
He doesn't have a stinger.
Yeah, but
He's got
you can't.
watery
So now,
adolescent jizz.
if you see it around, you cannot wear a Hawaiian shirt around about, or you'll be labeled as a white supremacist.
I don't
Sorry.
It's
What's
fucking
that?
stupid. It's
That's
no,
not
this is the
going to-
dumbest time
Oh.
period we live in. I hate this time.
I'm sorry. Anyone wearing
It's dumb.
a Hawaiian shirt, I'm just like that person's in for a good time, and I
Yeah.
bet
He likes to party.
and
he
I
li-
bet if I offered to buy them a margarita, they
Let's
would be
go.
so into it. But
They probably
they would be
smoke
We'll go to
out.
Margaritaville.
No, I bet they
There you
would be
go.
like, "Man, that's awesome." No, let me buy you a margarita, and I would be like, "Hell yeah!" And then
they
we
go,
would
"Come to
jam
the back
some
of my
CCR.
Come to the back of my truck. I got a margarita machine on the tailgate.
I don't know what far right people
You
are
ever
hanging
listen-
out in Hawaiian shirts.
Yes.
I don't know.
That's
I
so
don't
weird
get it.
because
It's
that's
fucking
so
stupid.
new to me.
It's the dumbest fucking thing ever.
You ever listen to
And it
the
aggravates
Grateful
I wouldn't
Dead?
even. I don't even. I wouldn't even find
I
it
have
weird to
listened
see a
to the
person in a
Grateful
Hawaiian shirt with
Dead.
tattoos.
I don't know. That's great.
I've listened to the Grateful Dead many a times, man. That's fucking cool.
All right, so this is the final thing I was leading to. I didn't mean to take up another 5 minutes on this damn shirt and Hawaiian
I have
shirt
nothing to
bullshit.
do. We can
Who
go
is
another
on your?
hour.
Who's the girl on the shirt?
But Kelly
Is that like-
Kapowski
it's from,
from Saved by
Saved
the
by the
Bell.
Bell?
Oh, it
Yeah.
is the '90s.
When did you get
shapes.
that?
Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Did you buy that just to wear it on the show?
At Bucky's?
Bucky's
it was
has
like,
Saved by the
fuck yeah.
Bell shirts.
Yes. I was like, they're
Dude, I
awesome.
want one,
And
man.
they have the same type of shirts with just different
Yeah.
wrestlers on it.
Hey, if anyone can find me like a Grease
Probably
Hawaiian
would.
shirt.
Wait, you said
that
it got
says, "Go
wrestlers?
Grease
They have one
Light."
with Shawn Michaels.
Every wrestler you can think of.
They have Hawaiian
Think about
shirts?
it, on Hawaiian shirts, yeah. And
Austin-
they're cool.
I guess I'm a
316?
Boogaloo boy now because
Yeah.
I want one with the fucking Heartbreak Kid on there.
It's pretty badass.
Or
So,
Bret Michaels.
When we were growing up,
sorry, not Bret Hart. Fuck Bret Michael. Don't give a shit about
Poison. What they got to do with it?
Yeah.
when we were growing up,
Art
and
Foundation.
we're kids, and we would go out on our little adventures. What did we always want to find? What was always the goal?
porn. I don't know.
What would porn be?
Did you get it?
Yep, it's dead.
A magazine.
No. What? It would be considered a treasure, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Buried treasure.
Yeah.
You've heard the story.
You
today,
go hide
right?
it. You go hide it out in the woods, man, and you'd have to replace once a rainstorm came through or something. You'd have to get your buddy Brent to go sneak into his dad's house in Palestine, Texas, and get another magazine, and then take it back out to the trails. So you'd have your second magazine.
All right, there's first-hand experience.
And then a storm would come in and blow that one, then you'd have to
do it again. The latest month of we. So you heard about the story that happened on Sunday, right?
No.
You haven't heard about the Forrest Fenn treasure?
No.
Okay, so this is the treasure
What
that's
is?
been that Forrest Fenn is an art collector, an art collector in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And 10 years ago, he put a crate, a box.
Did we talk about this on the show
I think we have.
at some point?
With $2 million worth of gold, jewels, diamonds, rubies,
This
emeralds.
is the plot to Rat Race.
And different artifacts, Indian artifacts and stuff, that all totaled $2 million. And he took it out somewhere in the Rocky Mountains and left it. And then he wrote an autobiography. And in there was a poem that was basically the treasure map telling you how to get to it.
Oh, cool, man.
So it's
I think
taken
we had
10
talked
years.
about this.
My mom called me like a million times. Would always talk to me going out there. It's like, we should go up there and try to find this. I've read the book. We should go up there and try to find it. We can figure these clues out. We should go get it. Well, on Sunday night, someone found it and sent him a picture of it. And he said, yes, it's been found. But for years, people have been trying. They said there's been up to like 350,000 people have tried to search for this thing.
So genius
And
of a book writer to do.
4 or 6 people have died in the
shit.
process.
Damn.
And he has had lawsuits and stuff of these people dying.
Oh, fuck that, man. They didn't
And
have
now
to take
there's
it
some lady
seriously.
came out and said that she's an attorney up in New England, said that she had figured out and solved everything, but someone had it all written down on her computer, but someone hacked her computer and beat her to it. So
Damn.
now she's trying to file a lawsuit that
So
it
it's
should be
getting,
hers.
the cool ass idea is getting all jacked up.
Getting all jacked up. But his whole goal was in his book was to, when he talked about art and stuff, was he wanted people to get out more. And when he put this in the box out there with all the jewels, the treasure, he did it because we had just come out of the recession of 2008, and a lot of people weren't doing too well. And he's like, I'll just put this out there, and he didn't expect it to take 10 years to find, but yeah.
Damn. Well, that back in the day when FM radio contests were huge, there was some contest. I'm not sure if it was I think it was in the LA market, that they were going to certain locations and pouring money, like dumping buckets of money. And it started causing chaos because people, obviously are going to go after it. It was causing accidents and stuff. And the FCC put into rule at that point that you can't have a contest like that. Like that's when all the scavenger hunt type contests and stuff stopped.
Well, it's also
because that's when the FCC said you can't have people in danger trying to win your contest.
It was also because Les Nessman was dropping turkeys out of his helicopter on people because he thought they could fly.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was
Those
it.
Poor, delicious turkeys.
You don't remember that Christmas special of WKRP?
Yeah, well, that's what they were talking about in that episode.
Is that a real thing? No, is that from
that was a play? No, but that
from
was
WKRP. They did that. He did that.
But that was that was in the time period.
They was making fun of
stuff like that. Well, and the thing is, they take that shit serious because remember Kramer and Twitch? They were on air, and the final straw with them and Clear Channel back in the day.
I hated those guys.
Dude, they were fucking cool as shit. If you ever hung out with them, they were funny.
Obviously,
they were like
I never have because I'm 36.
Yeah. But anyway, these
guys are fucking
so they got in trouble here for spreading the rumor that Britney Spears was dead. They got shit in. I think they were actually in San Jose when they did it, or they were either here, one or the other. They were in one of the markets, but they got in trouble because that got national news.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, shortly after that, they one of them went on and said, "Start opening your door when bikes are cheating down the middle lanes." And that's when when Clear Channel was like, okay, we're done here. And I think that's when they got cut. They did this one thing. They had this one deal they did where I can't remember who. I think it was Twitch, the big dude, the one that was always doing crazy shit.
I imagine both of them
the
were
DJ
at least
Kramer was a
pounds.
DJ, and Kramer was a DJ.
They said Brittany and Justin were both dead.
And
They died in a car
check this
wreck.
out. Check how badass this was. Kramer found out about Twitch because apparently Twitch was going on to some like college campus. This is what I heard. I don't know. Can't verify any of this, but I heard they hooked up because Twitch was on some college campus and he was passing out flyers. Remember back in the day, you could flyer bands and all that, put flyers everywhere about stuff that was going to happen. He started flyering this campus that Richard Simmons was going to come teach a class, do like a lecture, and then do like an aerobic class. And like they had like fucking, like he put it all over the campus. All of a sudden, like all these women started showing up and was like fucking, it turned into like a crowd of like 4,000 people trying to see Richard Simmons do this lecture and his exercise bit. And fucking, it was all fake, dude. All of it was fake. Like, I'm pretty sure Twitch got in trouble and shit for that. And that's when when Kramer heard that story, he was like, I got to have that kid on my show. And that's how they started.
That's pretty good.
How awesome is that? If you pull a troll that big, like.
But this day and age, like that whole Rage Against the Machine thing when they were broken up, England, something was going on in England and they set out what they were going to do was take Killing in the Name of and make it number one on the radio airwaves over there.
Yeah.
And if they did,
they were going to do a live show.
They want Rage Against the Machine to come or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they got it to number one, but they really didn't think Rage Against the Machine would come. And then they ended up throwing that free show in a plaza somewhere over there in France.
Which reminds me another gripe and bitch about Facebook. Remember a few years ago when everybody was trolling the like Korn's gonna put on a show at South Lake Square.
Yeah.
Be there.
Oh, all the fucking fake events.
Someone figured out how to make fake events that looked real.
Yeah, and
like,
then people were starting to show up at like South Lake
9 Inch Nails at Whole Foods.
Which by the way, South Lake, applause, man. That was cute. That was a cute protest. It was, man.
I didn't see anything of it. What was it?
Good job, man. Good job, South Lake. It was just nice. It was like a Disney, a made-for-TV Disney TV show protest.
Was the news out there that just just panned the line standing out Lululemon?
Yeah,
like this is the protest.
Yeah.
Hey,
it was good job. Good job,
South Lake fucks.
I didn't mean to offend anyone.
You dipshits that stand outside Lululemon for 3 hours to go try on pants and a
Lululemon?
shirt. I don't give a fuck what it is, but those guys are dumbasses. I don't give a shit.
Is that a clothing store or something?
Yes.
I've heard the name.
It looks comfortable.
Yeah, like $500 for pants.
Women's butts look really, and men, men too. Your butts look really good in them, and they look comfortable.
If you did the economic calculus,
the dude pants
you can find much better shit at a thrift store than $500 pants.
Absolutely.
Just take some time and snoop around.
It's
half off a half.
It's modern day.
Take some time, baby.
Gerbos. That's all it is. It's modern day gerbos.
Some Z Cavaricis.
Some modern day Z Cavaricis.
I don't know.
Those are Lululemon.
I'm not in my 40s, so I don't know.
This is 90s shit. We're talking 90s
Lululemon
shit
is now the
I didn't have
the cool thing to
I didn't
do.
have an income in the 90s, so there's a lot of things I don't remember.
You're a liar. You had encyclopedias, homie.
I did.
I was 16 when the 90s ended.
We know that's a status symbol. If you had encyclopedias.
Hey, I worked at Best Buy in the 90s. You know how much we made there.
Oh,
if you had encyclopedias and you were growing up,
I started
$200 a week.
Especially those encyclopedias that had the clear pages of the body.
That's livable in the 90s.
And you ripped away parts of the body with the clear pages. You're rich as fuck. Fuck you, man.
No, mine didn't have that.
Then that's still upper middle class, man.
I had Star Wars toys.
Well, I had that. The ones I stole.
A part of me wishes I had gone to college in like the mid-90s.
Did you have one of those Uzi-looking water guns?
I could smoke in every bar. And
I wasn't allowed to play with guns.
To me,
that's why I play with guns now.
Not
my
not
uncle's
like
gun.
not like a Portlandia '90s thing, but a part of me just like I fantasize about the '90s and how I'm just like, man, that shit must have been really fucking cool.
Some of it was.
Oh no,
Some of it was
I was
fucking
just
rad.
too young for I was born in '84, so I wasn't able to tap into how cool the '90s could have possibly been.
Remember
And
even
what sucks is
party?
now
Music changed.
when I look back at like
Once a
how the
year, my
'90s were, like to
spring
me,
break.
the
party,
first
MTV.
few years of the '90s were corrupted by the terrible '80s fashion because a lot of that bled over into the early '90s, and then it finally got its own little kind of rhythm going on in the mid '90s.
Yeah, 91.
But still, like before, as that was growing, you had the fucking terrible '80s attire that was still around, and the haircuts. And my theory is everyone in the '80s was just butt fucking ugly.
No, man.
Like in the '90s, everybody judged each other by clothes. I don't see that happening anymore.
No, I don't think they give a shit.
No, because like it's the
No
thrift
one
store.
cares.
You can either have gotten it at a thrift store or pay $200 to make it look like it came from a thrift store. So the lines are very blurred.
I like
So you
paying
just don't know.
$200 for a T-shirt they hung on the line outside on the the
Clothesline?
There's a
clothesline,
throwback.
and then they take a shotgun and shoot it.
Oh yeah.
And then they sell it to you.
No,
for
remember those
$200.
one fucking
Oh,
shirts?
like with like a paint-
what was it
like a paint gun or
the
something?
shirts that the Jim was it Jimmy
Holes
Z
on
or
it?
the hand shirts or the Varney or whatever where you put your hand on it and it was like pink and it changed color.
No, that's
was
Genera
that called?
Hypercolor, man.
Was it? Was it?
I had two of those.
Didn't
I was
Varney do it
rich.
too? Varney did it too, and then there was Catch It and Gotcha. Remember those shirts?
Remember the hot stickers on the back of trucks?
Ultra Hot, yeah.
Ultra hot.
And then Jimmy's, or was it Jimmy Z? Jimmy's?
What
Are you
were
a
those?
Jimmy's guy?
Those like
Jimmy's-
stickers
Are you a
that
Jimmy
change
Z guy?
colors or something?
No, it just said hot, ultra hot, and it was just
Really? No,
something
I don't-
cool to have.
Yeah.
I had a lot of time
All the
to
Mustang
spend
GTs had them on the
staring
back of
out the windows of riding in a car in the '90s, but I do not remember any of that.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. And then shortly after that is when the
Everybody
the
is
Calvin,
Stussy.
yeah,
Oh,
Stussy,
What?
And then the Calvin
What
and
was
Hobbes
that? To me, I was just like, are they trying to say
pissing on
pussy
the
or something?
pissing on the Chevy symbol
Yeah.
or the
Oh,
Ford
Calvin
symbol.
pissing on
Yeah.
anything?
Calvin,
And then what was
I'm-
it?
you gotta bring-
Stussy was still cool until they put it in Target, and then you're like, no more.
What? We need to bring
No
the
mas.
Calvin thing back. There's plenty of things Calvin can
To
piss
piss on?
on. Yeah.
Yeah, these days, because you can
It could
hashtag
either be,
anything and
it
have
could
me
either
piss
be
on
a
it.
slogan or just like a 3-letter thing. It can literally
Yeah.
be anything.
Yeah, dude.
Just Calvin.
Pissing
I always
on
wanted
something.
like a Calvin pissing on Calvin, like
An
just going
infinite
bigger to
Calvin.
smaller, and get as small as you can. And
Does
just
it ever
kinda be like-
recycle and flip on the other side of the
You
matrix?
Could
where you're
just do like a
like
circular one, like an Ouroboros, and just
Just
you know,
do
just,
an MC Escher drawing.
That's like a
of
tool.
Calvin
oh shit.
that's
pissing
the
on
Tool
Calvin.
version. The Tool version of Calvin pissing on something. It's like,
But the thing would be is like Calvin
Alex
would have
Gray.
to be pissing up
It's-
a staircase to another Calvin that's pissing through a staircase
God,
and then around if it was an MC Escher.
I never understood
that'd be
that.
hilarious, dude. If you're an artist and you want to make some
And what-
money,
what sucks
you
is
design that, you're gonna make a shit ton of money.
if you temporarily have
you need
a
to
heart.
copyright that, dude.
The Calvin thing really
the
sucks
Jerry
because you're
Jonestown
like
Massacre shirt.
the Calvin and Hobbes
Calvin?
guy.
Pissing
in the-
MC Escher.
The Calvin and Hobbes guy never wanted to market his characters, so you're just like, man, that's fucking badass. That's punk rock. He's like Calvin and Hobbes. It's to make you tingle about thinking about as a kid and reading Calvin and Hobbes, maybe waiting for a dentist appointment or something, or in your room as a kid. It was great. This kid had this imaginary tiger character, and like the drawings were fucking beautiful. And then the owner, well, the creator was just kind of like, you're not fucking marketing my bullshit. It's pure. It is what it is. And you got to leave it at that. And then someone's just like, and as much as I love that and defend that, I'm just like, the other side is, yeah, I can kind of defend him like, yeah, this fucking great character with all this wholesome shit. The owner wants to keep it in its own little area. Like, now let's have him pissing on some shit.
Yeah, let's just have him
Let's have him pissing on anything you don't like. Just put literally
I wanna
anything
get
you don't
one-
like
is
there.
There's got
and
to
have
be
him
one
piss
where
on it.
where he's pissing on like the Enterprise or something like.
Or the rebel
that
symbol
year.
or the empire
Yeah,
symbol.
That's how
Make
you're
it-
going for it.
Which was that an original thought? The new name of the Richland High sports team?
That was my thought. I wanted.
You didn't grab that from any other radio station.
No,
That's
I
your.
made it up.
Go ahead and tell everyone the
Okay.
greatest. Okay,
So
speaking-
Richland High School tonight had a
Please listen if
protest march.
If you are involved with Richland High, listen to this
Richland High.
idea.
Well, I've got all their emails because they
We
email
need to
me all
send
the
them an
time.
email
I'm going to send them
about
one.
this.
But yesterday they had a little protest around the school protesting the Rebels.
Oh, the name of
the Richland Rebels. Now, years ago, they got rid of the flag, the Stars and Bars.
Okay.
That used to be a flag they flew at games and stuff. But back in 95, that was the last year the flag was there because...
Okay.
I'm sorry, 96. It was a friend of mine graduated a year after me, and that was his
Still kind of progressive
year.
for that time. Yeah.
So 96, they got rid of the flag, but people would still bring flags to the games, and it slowly died away. But there was no flags on the school.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Now they do have some stuff that shows red, blue, and stars.
Like Texas?
But it's not like the Stars and Bars type thing of the Rebel flag. Well, they were up there protesting, saying that now the name Rebel is wrong.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Which is, if you follow me on Facebook, after I read that article, that's the reason I posted David Bowie's Rebel Rebel.
Right.
Because it was kind of
that was nicely played.
We should cancel that song, too.
Okay. Can we cancel that? Can we
Because
cancel?
he's a pedophile.
What about...
wait,
did y'all forget about that?
No, we're not burying this. You
what
gotta
about,
continue
what about
this.
Tom Petty Rebels?
Okay.
Can we not play that? Okay, anyway.
What about Rebel Yell?
What about Rebel Meets Rebel, the David Allen... Oh, wait.
Now, so my idea
got a
was
good case there.
What the schools should do before...
This is genius.
Next year, before it starts up, is change it to the North Richland Rebel Alliance High School. And the entire school is now Star Wars themed.
Yep.
Disney about to come down on yo ass if you do
Dude.
that.
Probably will.
That is genius. You get the gif of Robert Redford going, that you get one on that, dude. That's genius, man.
Or what about
That's
this Richland Hills Rebellion?
I like Rebel Alliance.
Then you eschew the S at the end because not many people have the...
Why is Rebel a bad word now?
It's not. People are just
Rebel
taking
Alliance
shit too...
is it, dude.
Is it what we're doing right now? Rebelling?
You're rebelling against the cops, yeah. You're rebelling against
Everyone
the system.
rebels against something at some point.
Yeah.
It's...
Growing up, you're a rebel.
It's been tainted by the Civil War rebellion.
You don't think Disney would jump right on that, too? And like, yeah, we'll be the sponsor
I can
of a
understand.
school.
Yeah. I can understand.
Star Wars school.
The school pay us.
The North Richland.
$6 million a year.
How about we
Rebel
just change it
Alliance?
to the...
North Richland
is it
Hills
Richland
Rebel
or
Alliance.
Richland Hills?
Richland, it's
Richland
North
Rebels.
Richland.
North Rich... Let's just
Wait,
call it...
No, it's just Richland High School.
Okay, let's just call them the Richland Confederacy and just be done with it.
Now, see, I understand if you have the term Confederacy actually stands for something, but there have been Chechen rebels.
What
Yeah.
if
Can we not celebrate what they've done?
Or how about just the Rebel Yells? You got Billy Idol's little silhouette, like
And he comes every year and is
sings.
he does the valedictorian
White-blooded?
speech at
Yeah.
graduation.
Gets in a fight with someone.
In the midnight hour. We know a band that used to cover that.
What, any band?
Go ahead,
That's-
tell them who
It was
covered
Wake and Alice. They
That's
covered
right.
it,
That's
yep.
right. Wake and Alice.
They did it.
I'm
in
pretty
our
sure a lot more bands always cover that song.
Probably. We were going to do, Spectacle was going to do Billy Idol one year.
That'd been
Not tell
awesome,
anybody. We were
dude.
going to tell we were going to do something else and then just roll out with Billy Idol. An entire set of Billy Idol. Can you see James up there being Billy
Don't
Idol?
cover
Heck
anything.
yes,
Great.
you can, man.
Please
Hell yeah.
stop covering songs you can hear at a fucking Chili's.
All right, we
Just-
got to turn this off before he
anything.
starts going down the line of
Hey.
local bands again.
Hey, I'm pushing for Typo this year.
Do it. God damn it.
Typo needs to
Halloween.
be done.
If you're not covering Typo at Halloween, you need to disband and stop playing music because you don't understand fucking art.
And you're not allowed to start another one because remember, we're putting a limit. No more bands.
Yeah. Stop
No,
all
stop
bands.
making bands.
Hey, Uncle Toasty was the last
If
band.
your
We don't
band
need any
is
more
half
bands,
covers,
man.
you're not
No more.
a band. You're a cover band at that point.
Don't buy any more guitars, man. Fuck. Nope. No more guitars. Fuck guitars.
No
man.
one needs
Guitar
6
Center needs to
guitars.
open.
There are too many guitars, man.
There are.
If we're not getting any more Led Zeppelins in the world or CCRs, then stop
man.
buying fucking guitars because then you're just
That's what
doodling at
those-
home,
that's
and
what
that's
those
what
bands
pornography
play.
is for.
Yeah.
Those bands, that's all they played on Saturday.
Oh, that's fucking sad because they're
Was
kids
Zeppelin
and they're
and
supposed to be
CCR.
ahead of the curve.
That was the 2 bands they were doing.
Yeah, the thing was, all of them were very bluesy based too.
Mhm.
And I was like,
They're
is that a
called
School of Rock thing?
bluesers.
Like they just we make
Those
everything
guys over
bluesy?
there are my bluesers.
School of Rock. I'm like,
That's what
those
Bill Ham,
three
my
words,
jazz teacher, taught me.
I'm like, oh, cool. Let's put rock and roll into a school-like format and just completely divorce it from the rebel origins that it used to have. Yeah.
Did you
let's
see when
do
Alice
that.
Cooper's rescheduled?
Yeah.
Let's have
October
a lesson
30th.
plan to rock
Or is it
and
actually
roll.
on Halloween? Is it on Halloween or is it on
No,
the
it's not. I
30th?
think it's the night before Halloween.
Yeah, dude.
That's it. That's it.
We don't get credentials
Windstar,
up there
right?
because of the Windstar shit, right?
No, I can get them.
Dude, that'd be a cool show to go to.
I can get them. The comedy stuff's hard
Courtney
to get
might
up there, but
Courtney might go to that. Like if you get us a few
Well,
passes, like, hey, Court, what's up?
her buddy plays with Alice Cooper.
Gonna see if you're not doing anything.
You ever seen her buddy?
The night before Halloween.
Matt, you have a restraining order. Stay away from me.
But
Please
this is different.
Stop calling me.
But this is different because like
if you're
this
at the
is- we're
show,
different.
I will have you arrested.
But we're just gonna go. I mean, it's a big casino. I'll stay 50 yards apart, and then maybe I don't know. We could get some breakfast.
Matt, please stop. We're done. I told you to leave me alone at NAMM last year.
When you chased after me.
But yeah, her buddy's up there. Her buddy she used to play with, Lindsay.
She is.
Lindsay Strutt plays with
Alice Cooper. That's right.
Yeah, and they used to be Iron Maidens together.
We should go to that, man. You, me, Andrew, and Dave, and Matt. Matt will probably be there anyway. His crew.
You see his post he made yesterday?
Uh-oh.
I heard this morning. Was it yesterday? It was hilarious. He's
a hilarious man.
Yeah. It was. They played a festival with Queen, and it was it's a video of a bunch of the corpse painted kids.
Oh yeah.
Dancing, or one of them's dancing to Queen, waiting for because they're set up across the field from each other.
Yeah.
Queen's on one stage, and King Diamond was playing right after them.
Yeah.
And this corpse kid paint is dancing around and stuff, and Matt put on there. This is when we were waiting for Queen to finish opening up for us. It's like, that's great.
That's what it reminded me
awesome.
of. That's what it reminded me of when Ulrich when you did that video for the Me Motor Scooter. Remember that video you did at that public library
with
thing?
his corpse on?
And of course, so you had this fucking nice rock and roll song, and then all of a sudden you got this kid in corpse paint banging his head.
Yay! Oh, good times.
Good times of music.
How many? What's he doing out there?
I don't know, man, but we ran super late again.
We did. I knew we were.
As soon as we ate the chocolate.
Shit.
As soon as we ate the chocolate, I was like, "This is going to be a long show."
Yeah, I forgot. There was something else I was going to
We're signing off, man. You want to say bye, Brian? You can still live here.
So, when comedy returns, you have a show coming up, the 28th.
Let me look it up so I'm not wrong. It's on a Sunday at Mass.
I think it's the 28th. It's
28th or 24th. One of those.
Do you have to have tickets for this?
Maybe. Mona set it up.
Well, I know how they're doing things.
Yeah.
That's our outro music.
What? I don't see anything. I'm looking at.
Oh, you're not looking at the chat?
I think the 28th is when we will be returning from a kayak trip.
Oh yeah, that's this month, right?
Yeah.
I literally have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
We already looked at that, and that's not when I.
My plan is to write all new material for that because I just don't know with the way things are. I just don't know what the fuck to do anymore.
You need an opener because Matt and
you need to go through the open
Robo-tuners
mic regimen in order to open on a comedy show. At least that I have somewhat of a hand in. So I don't want any fucking amateurs on.
Oh, I'm an amateur.
Yeah.
Did you ever show him?
I thought you wanted an amateur to blow him out of the water. Didn't I send that to you? His stand up. I still got it on Dropbox.
Yeah. Oh man, you got to see it.
I
fell off the stage.
And
Man, I don't even. The people I
so
book,
great.
I had a
I
heckler.
rarely
My first
watch
show,
videos of the comics I book because they come
My
from a
first
person I
set-
trust. And I'm like, book this person. I'm like, sweet. And I
am
book
I a
it,
person
and
you
it
trust?
turns out
Book
great.
him.
my first set was fucking.
No, I'm talking
I
about
had a
comics
heckler.
they recommend that are touring
Dude,
and have albums and shit.
I'm recommending a comic.
I had a
over here.
real heckler.
No, you're
The
not.
first 5 minutes I ever did of stand up, I had a real heckler and handled up, didn't I?
He
That
did.
is
He
hard.
did good. I'm gonna send you that video. You can watch it. It's
Okay.
not long,
Yeah, go ahead.
but it's worth watching him fall off stage when he
So,
ran. He got scared. And
As
ran.
of now,
I
it's
sure
it's
did.
me, Mana, and Latrice Allen. Who Latrice is fucking hilarious, and you should come to Mass on Sunday, June 28th. So hopefully, I'll have a job by then.
I was just wondering if we
Man.
had to buy tickets in advance
I
because
think
of the
so.
seating issue.
So as of now, the seating is limited to like 24 or something like that. But who the fuck knows what's gonna be happening then? So
Yeah,
who
that's
knows?
Hopefully
Who
we'll
the
be
fuck
on the
knows?
other end of this, and everybody will be happy.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping
COVID-free.
even
Click on
weirder
that like.
shit happens then, so I can say
Hit that
literally,
like button.
then we can say literally like anything. It'll be funny because who the fuck knows? No one will have a right set of mind.
You see them thumbs
At that
right there?
point.
That's not for shoving up your ass or down your ass.
Click on
That's
that
for you
like.
to click on that like button.
on
That's
that
they're,
like button.
they're
Who
to tell
knows?
us that you like us.
I was supposed to
Share
ask
the
you,
page.
Matt, if
When,
you were dying.
when you like a page, that means you support everything that page says and does ever, and you must be held
What is it?
accountable. to
Follow
what
us.
that
What's the
means.
other thing? Subscribe. You see that
Subscribe.
subscribe
Like and
button right
subscribe.
there?
Yeah, you subscribe.
Join the Patreon.
So
for
who asked me if
additional
I was
material.
alive?
They asked you if you were dying. Are you
Why?
okay? Because they just wanted to make sure they didn't need to call someone for you.
Huh.
Needed to get assistance over here.
That I had to get assistance over
Yeah.
here?
I'll
Why?
tell you afterwards.
Uh-oh. Did I do a no-no?
No. All right, let's get out of here.
I didn't say tard, did I?
You just did. Just now. All right. JJonesonMassacre@gmail.com and 682-593-JJTM. And if you want to go on a boat ride with us, let us know.
Kayaking.
Kayaking. The Brazos. Underneath Possum Kingdom. Holler at us.
Kayaking with Caillou and the Jerry Jonestown Massacre podcast show.
Caillou
That'd be
from
weird.
the kids
Yeah,
channel,
the little
the
little
cartoon.
kid, yeah.
That kid was a pussy.
Yeah, he was weird.
He was extremely stupid.
I bet he got his ass beat a lot.
A
growing up.
lot.
Yeah.
I am Caillou.
Oh, hey, when I posted about getting
then,
laid off, I also informed my good comic buddy who I got hired on at the same job. I was like, I posted, cool, I just got fired / laid off. And one of his comment was, well, this is the worst way to find out I got laid off. I'm glad I didn't mute you.
All right, we're out of here. Bye.
He also was
Okay,
kind
I'll
of
stop it.
passive aggressivist and had microaggressions.
Who?
Caillou, man, he'd get a little.
And Caillou was
testy
a little
sometimes.
a-hole, wasn't he?
Man, every once in a while he'd start whining and be like, "Hey!"
I don't like
And
Caillou.
then- No, he'd do these little microaggressions sometimes against people for
He
no
was,
reason.
out of every show that was on that show,
He whined a lot.
he did. And then there was that dog.
Yeah.
The dog like
No,
that.
I didn't. The British dog, I liked him. He talked like this the whole time.
What was the name of that show?
Kipper.
Kipper.
Yeah, Kipper. Kipper was cool, man. He'd make me fall asleep.
Kipper the dog.
I'm supposed to be watching my kids, and I needed to catch some Z's. If Kipper came on, Daddy's night night.
Man, Aiden loved that channel growing up. And that
Yeah.
chick,
The one with the pajamas?
she's
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she was a bad
I
girl,
thought
right? When
bad
she's away
things,
from
man. I
the,
thought bad things all the time about her.
when she's away from that set, she's like, "You give me that Kipper."
That's what I
You
wanted.
Caillou all over
What
me.
is wrong with us, man? What the fuck is wrong with us? Males we're just degenerate.